Good evening, everyone. This is Josh Turner from Paranormal Round Table. PRT. Hey, guys. Are we going to have this in the middle of the screen right here?
Well, yeah, because you're going to be on this side.
Yeah, you can move it over just a little bit, folks. We're going to have the recent shows with Barton and Nunley have absolutely stellar. Yes, they were absolutely. I've really enjoyed doing those. Barton is actually a very close personal friend of mine, so it's easy to talk to somebody that you're really good friends with.
You can unlock it and you can drag and drop it wherever you need to.
Okay, yeah, because it might help. We can move it. There we go.
I mean, you might have to move it again.
I have a guest that's going to be on in a minute, folks. That's why I have this for now. I'm just going to move it over here to his side because he's not on yet. Here's the thing, folks. We here at PRT, Josh Turner at prtpodcast.com. That's my email address. prtpodcast.com is our website. We have a listener base on YouTube, but YouTube is not our only platform. We're on 7 different platforms. So we actually are on Spotify, iTunes, Google. There's a bunch of them, 7 others. There's a bunch of them. So we figured out that we're only getting about 30% of our audience that will actually watch the live stream, not the chat room just while I'm live, but just in general. So we want people to start coming over, and so we've started announcing it on the Friday shows. I am so excited. You guys have no idea how excited I am because, you never know because I'm always the same. I'm always crazy. Okay. But I'm really excited about what's going on right now. I did a set with Jason Bland. We haven't released it yet. We're going to try to release that when we can. And I'm about to do one with Albert Rosales. And then the author that's going to come on and talk tonight for a little bit, he's gonna do a set with me too. I mean a set of episodes. I just did Paul with Paul Sinclair, and me and Paul were thinking about what we're gonna call it because we ended up going back to the origins. So what me and Paul did was we did 2 episodes. Then we're gonna go back and we're gonna do a couple more and then a couple more. So we decided we were gonna start from the beginning and call it Dogman Origins. Me and Ryan Tremblay, one of my partners from Whisper to a Scream podcast, we did Goatman Origins. So I thought, what better person to do Dogman Origins than Paul Sinclair? And unlike the person over at that other channel, Voldemort, who was chastising his listeners for acting like the comment section was a place for them to... Hey, Tanya, thank you for that. It says, just sending love to everyone. Keep your eyes and hearts open. Pay close attention to what's going on around us. And above all, be kind. Yes, that's very sweet, Tanya. Thank you for that. Unlike him, I hope that the comment section is a party. I hope you have fun and talk about getting your scare on and getting your groove, whatever you want to do. I'm not a therapist. I mean, I don't pretend to be a dogman therapist like he's pretending to be. You have the dogman whisperer, you have the dogman therapist. Who the heck are these people, dude? Like, who these people think they are, And like he said, it makes him mad whenever someone in his comment section says that they want to get their scare on or they're ready to be entertained, what are you doing? I mean, isn't this entertainment? Are you not entertained? I mean, that's what this is, right? It's all entertainment, bro. Guy needs to lighten up. So the video I made yesterday with the headband on and all that on Facebook, that was just me spoofing some crazy old prospector guy. I guess I could say he acted like a prospector. I figured he's up in the Superstition Mountains and doing whatever he's doing, looking for gold. But he was very, very angry with me because of my 4 videos I did on a Saturday night on a whim. I just was bored, and so I told my wife, I said, I'm just going to start making some videos. Hey, Anthony, your buddy's calling. Your best friend's calling. So is there any chances of getting another episode about the City of Night in the future? I thought it was really interesting. Maybe. So, the Laura Ketchler's episode has the information there. It's on the second episode. One of the things I was thinking about was, you know, we have done so much recording in the last 2 weeks since I've been well, and able to not have that fatigue and all that. Yeah, see, somebody just said Tony Baloney. It was about a guy named Tony Baloney who was my godson, Tony. And we decided to make a spoof on what Voldemort spun out and was getting on to his audience on Friday. So I was like, dude, that's a horrible way to treat your audience. But I already know from his own words what he thinks of his audience and his guests. So I'm over there thinking, this guy, this is how he treats his people, So I wanted everybody to know that here at PRT, I'm not like that. We don't do that. We don't treat our guests bad. We don't belittle them and tell them this is an entertainment, because it is. And if you're here to get scared, then so be it. That's what happens. These are some strange subjects that can be scary. So, for me, it's not one of these things where you have to pretend like you're getting therapy from this guy, because you're not, okay? I don't understand how he's so determined to have this Boy Scout image, because he's not that either. And if anybody thinks they know him better than I do, you're out of your freaking mind. I worked with the guy for 6 years. How can you possibly think you know him better than me? You don't. So, anyways, that's why I made those videos. There were 4 little Facebook things, and I got some flack from some old guy, prospector guy. Then again, I don't know how old he was. He might be 30 and just lived a rough life out in the woods. I don't know. His face was chapped and said all kinds of horrible things. Let me tell you something, boy. I mean, don't do that, boy. You better go up there, boy. That's how he talked. And I was just like, what is this? And if you go back to my Facebook and you look at it, you'll see the video I made. And that thing on my head was actually my wife's steering wheel cover. Thank you for letting me borrow that, honey. But yeah, the guy was just like crazy, and so yeah, I made some videos making Voldemort out to be Xerxes, and I pretended to be Leonidas, and I guess it really aggravated him. I guess he wanted to be Leonidas. I don't know. I mean, if you're out there, old prospector guy, we can make another one with you. We can have you. Next time, leave the video up, dude, because you were classic. That video would go viral if more than a few people saw it. It would go viral, dude. That guy is incredible. We could make because I want to start going around to like Sam's and Walmart and Target and Costco and like just going to people and telling them, do your job. I'm the upper management, and scaring people, because I did the other day at Sam's, and that girl was like, oh, you had me going. And I was like, did I? And she goes, yeah. And I said, do you think I should make videos doing that? And she said, absolutely. So I'm thinking, hey, why not make viral videos? Have some fun with it. And fun is what it's all about. We're trying to have fun over here in Baltimore. It's like, I'm a therapist. I'm helping these people with their PTSD from Dogman. No, you're not. Okay, let's just be honest. You're not. Okay, Dick Cuntliff, you're not. Okay, you're not doing it. You're not. And so you need to stop with all that. There's a lot of ridiculous people in this, field who take themselves way too seriously. People say I joke around too much. Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm just sitting around, wring my hands, and I don't know. I just thought the video was great, and I was like, man, I wish we would have kept it. It would have been very fun. My wife was like, guy's classic, dude. I mean, who does that? He shows up with a headband. And then I feel bad about saying he was Cajun, because I don't know if he was Cajun, but he kind of sounded like that, or he was just insane. No offense to my Cajun friends, my friend Buck down there, in the Bayou, and Dana Holyfield. None of you are great people, salt of the earth. No offense to, I love Cajun people. I love Cajun food, but this guy just sounded like He was from Waterboy or something, but just living up in the mountains or something. So I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at the guy because he's obviously unstable mentally. But what can you do? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna feel bad? Russ Harmon, thank you for that donation. That didn't go unnoticed. I appreciate every penny bit that you guys donate. We typically do give away the donations. We've given most of our donations of the last few shows. We did donate to the, and I don't talk about this typically, but we did use it to help the Hendersons. They had to pay for their dad's funeral for Johnny Henderson, and so more than likely the money that you give us is going to end up going to help people. We do try to do things for people. I do buy a lot of books from authors and do giveaways and things like that. So that's what we do. This October, I'm almost giddy. You're going to have so much content, so much material to sift. I don't even know if you can have time for it all. So I thought, should I dump all this content in October and just have this Halloween bash for an entire month? Or should we just, stick it out there like we normally do and just, leading up to Halloween? We did a show yesterday. We haven't even thought of the name of it yet, but it was about duendes, little people. And I don't mean little people born with a condition. I mean little, like monitos. They run around, they do all kinds of crazy stuff, and they steal things, and they attack people. And then sometimes they're just benign, and they're just there. They're not all bad. But we did that one, and now we're like, when is that one going to air? So we decided we're going to drop that one right after the Bart and Unley set is over with, which will be this coming Friday. So me and Black Bart, we'll finish it up on Friday. Actually, Bart, I'm going to say this, and I don't want Bart, but Barton's actually named after a cowboy. His dad was a cowboy fan, like a Western, and so he was named Bart, and that's actually how him and Lyle both got their names. We were on the phone together the other day, and I did not know that. I was like, holy crap. So anyway, that was pretty cool, that I never knew that. And so me, Nick Redfern, Lyle Blackburn, Ken Gerhardt, and Barton Unley. And this was actually Barton's idea. I can't take credit for it, but he actually said, hey, why don't we all do a show together? But it's going to be about something, not just us sitting around talking, about whatever that comes to our mind, which could happen anyway. But, it's going to be Bigfoot Dogman is the topic. Okay? Physical, metaphysical. Now, you have a couple of those guys that they lean a little more toward the physical, and then you have a couple of us that lean more toward the metaphysical. I'm kind of in the middle. I am kind of in the middle, and I really don't know exactly where I stand 100% because I'll lean one way, and then I'll go, I don't know, there's other things that happen. And when you get as many stories that come across your desk as I do, you don't really know whether they're physical or metaphysical. And I have a ton of Bigfoot stories and Dogman stories from all across the country and even out of this country. And people, their opinions are different. Even with the duende, it was like some of them were physical little creatures and some of them weren't. It was like, or they could move in and out of the physical realm. It's hard to ascertain exactly what we're dealing with. So, anyway, we're going to do a deep dive discussion on that. And we're going to get into some stuff. We're going to talk about it. Now, these guys they've been in the field a long time doing a lot of research on this subject. And so it's going to be interesting to see everybody's take on it and how we interact with our beliefs. So that show is going to happen. And then another treat for you in October. I'm going to have my Halloween show, like always. It's going to be at least 2 hours. I got about a dozen really, really, really messed up stories. Not messed up stories, but, scary stories, whatever. So throughout the year, what me and my team do is we pick out some of the scarier stories and we save them for the Halloween episode. And we've been doing that since January. So I was like, there was a couple that didn't make the cut last year in Halloween because we didn't have time. We didn't get to them. So we kept those 2. So right now I got about 8. So it's not too late. If you want to throw a last minute hat in the ring and try to get your story told on the show, let me know because I'm still looking because I want to get the absolute best to go into that Halloween, that 2 to maybe 3 hour Halloween spooktacular. Sounds so corny, right? Anyways, that's going to be on Halloween. I think last year we did it the day before or something, so we could avoid the competition. But it's going to be a Sunday, and I'm not doing anything on Sunday, so figured we'd do it on Halloween. And the show with as I call them, the Cryptid Highwaymen. It's the problem is that I would like to get David Weatherly to come on too, but it's just so hard to coordinate that many people because of our schedules. Ken and Lyle are going to be doing conference after conference after conference this month, and I am slated to record every weekend this month. And I'm going to be on locked in on 3 shows right now. I'm going to be doing on other people's shows, which y'all all know as my audience. I never do that. I rarely do other people's shows. I don't like when people can, kind of lock you in on something. Say, Josh Turner said this, and then they could edit it too. So I'm kind of leery of that. But I am going to do 3 shows, and I've been invited to do 2 others, and possibly I've rumored of a 6th. I don't know. It might be a bit much. I'm going to try. Definitely going to try. I'm definitely going to do Jason Bland's show, Paranormal Soup, and I'm definitely going to do Paul Sinclair's show because he did mine. And so I've agreed to do those. And then there's another one who we haven't set a date or a time, it's not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So that one's, I think, a done deal. And then two others. One that I've been asked. I have corresponded. He hit me up, and I would like to work with him. His name's Tony Merkel of Confessionals. A lot of people like him, think he's a great guy. So I'm maybe doing a show with him too. And then there's another person who hasn't gotten back with me as of dates or anything like that. So I'm probably going to do that show too. So you're looking at probably 5 or 6 shows. I mean, you're going to get sick of me by the end of October probably. So I am looking at like a very busy October, and I am looking at probably it's probably going to go on into November. All the stuff that I got going on. I'm going to be recording this coming Friday, or I think it's Saturday, with Johnny's son Elijah, the late Johnny Henderson, great man. God rest his soul, and God rest his wife and his soul, together. But Elijah, me, and Barton Nunley are going to record with Roger. Now, if anybody knows, Roger's the one who allegedly saw the murders in the ALBL. Whether he did or not is up for speculation. The NADP guys, in particular, Jody, doesn't buy it and says not happened, it's not true, and Jody's my friend. I'm not going to fight with him. He believes the way he believes. But I'm going to give these people I'm going to give him a chance to tell his story in its entirety on my Friday show on the pre-record. So that people that listen to the podcast can hear what he has to say. And we're going to see where you, the audience, stand with that. And Barton's going to be on there with me, along with Elijah. And we're all going to do the show together. It was something that we were going to try and do with Johnny, and he passed. But I did talk to Roger the other day, and so everybody's asking about how he's doing and what's going on with Roger. Yeah, I do talk to him every now and then. And here's another weird thing. I don't know if you guys know it, okay? But we're going to talk about something on October 5th, me and Barton, because Barton has some first edition books that let's just put it this way, they are worth an astronomical amount of money, because I'll let him tell the whole story and how, just trust me. And so we were going to do an auction, and we were going to use that to raise the money for the mass production of the Cryptid action figure line that we're creating. But one of the books already sold. And you'll hear us talk about this on Friday's show, I believe. I don't think it was. Hey, Anthony, let me ask my nephew. He did the editing on. I haven't even listened to the show, actually. Shame on me. Yeah. On the show that I did me and Barton get into it on part 2 about the books?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, then it's will be part 3. So this coming Friday, pay attention, listen to what we're talking about, okay? Because his first editions are worth a lot of money. Go to Amazon right now and go look at the first edition of Mysterious Kentucky. It's going for like $800-900, and that's a steal compared to what it was. His first edition in Humanoids got up to almost $5,000. I kid you not, because there's not a lot of them. Now I have tracked some down, and okay, you're gonna just kick myself. I was just on the phone before I got on the show. I was on the phone with Linda Godfrey, and I forgot to ask her if she actually had a copy of that book, because I was trying to figure out how many people had it. I know Ken Gerhardt's got one. I got one. Nick Redfern's got one. And it's rumored that Linda has one. Somebody told me that she has one. I don't know. I should have asked her when I had her on the phone earlier. Which, by the way, good news. She's doing a lot better. I just talked to her for about half an hour before I got on the show. That's good news, folks. Linda Godfrey is on the mend. She's doing better. Please continue to pray for her. She's a dear friend of mine. I love Linda Godfrey. We're friends, and I want her to get better. And I'm going to have to go and take a bunch of my buddies up there, in this community, and we're just going to have to go up there and see her, and hopefully we will. Wow, that's amazing. Hopefully we'll be able to spend some time with her. Hey, Anthony, you might want to come here. We got a problem. You see this? Look at this. We just got this fixed. That's unbelievable. So we got to do something about that before it gets all over the equipment. It's crazy, man. We're just talking about this. We just had this roof fixed, and apparently it's not. So, anyways, that's what's going on. And I talked to her, and I want to go up there and visit her. Maybe we can have our own little conference and get together. Okay, Barton says, I can assure you Linda does have a signed copy. I sent it to her 10 years ago. Well, you don't know, Barton, okay? Sometimes people misplace that. I lost my copy for 2 years, and then I found it behind a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. This is ridiculous. We had somebody up on that roof, and now here we are. Look at that. Crazy when you have somebody up there for 3 hours and they couldn't even fix the problem. Yeah, sure can. You want to get a bucket? There's a bucket right there inside that office right there, or the other office. Thank you for complimenting my shirt. I appreciate it. My wife got me this shirt, and she just gave it to me today. She was like, hey, you got to wear this. I said, okay. So put it right there. Put the bucket on top of it. We got a leak on the roof, folks. Could be worse, though. The roof could be on the fire, but it's not. Oh, boy. My notes. Save my notes right here. I don't want to lose those. Electrocution. You don't want that. It's not coming from up here. That's the spot that they supposedly fixed. And we have all this stuff recorded on this freaking computer. I'm gonna lose all that. Did you back all that up? Are the shows we've been recording, or are they on the computer?
I mean, they're still on the computer, but on the hard drive.
Good. Okay, because I'll make sure that we don't want anything getting wet. So it's raining pretty hard here, which normally isn't a problem, but we had a leak that's now moved. So I guess when you call someone to do a job, they only come out and they do one leak, and then they wait, and then they come and they fix another leak, and then they wait. This is not a problem I would have had years ago, but I guess I'm a nice guy now, so now I have that problem. go ahead and use this and message you know who, tell them what's happening as we speak. So, all this stuff being said, we have a special guest that's on here tonight. His name is Charlie Perez. He's the one that is the sculptor and the creator of the action figure line that I commissioned him to do. He created prototypes, action figures. I want to say this right now, and I'm not saying this because I want to be the one that takes credit for this. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but some of my friends who we did the figures of have been harassed and kind of messed with and told, oh, you're just, tripping, ego tripping, and you're doing this like that. Let me tell you something. Ken Gerhard, Barton Nunley, Nick Redfern, Lyle Blackburn did not do this, okay? And in fact, it was Charlie's original idea to make a figure of me. It wasn't even, he just wanted to make a figure of me and the PRT team. That was the original, what he wanted to do. And I was like, sure, no problem. But I told him, I said, I think you should probably do some people in this field who are a lot more well-known and have done a lot more than me. And so I'm the one that brought up, hey, why don't you do Ken Gerhard and Lyle Blackburn and, do some of these other people who've been around for a while and have a pedigree in this field. So that's what ended up happening. And so Charlie did that. People are giving them heck about it. They're catching flack because they got an action figure. They're being told, why do you get an action figure? Who do you think you are? Blah, blah, blah. And it's so wrong. It's so wrong because these guys are the nicest, most humble guys in this field. And they're over here having to feel bad because some people, not a lot, but some people want to give them the SH word about it. And if you're me, you don't care. You don't really give a crap. You don't give a crap. People think about you. Say what you want. I don't give a darn. I'll clown you. I'll say whatever I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, because that's how I am. So somebody was talking about on Facebook about it being an ego thing. Well, if it's an ego thing and if it's anybody's ego, it's mine. Okay? So come after me because I don't really care what you have to say about me. I really don't. Do we have something more? Because this is only covering one little spot. When it would rain today, and it's been threatening to rain for days, and now it finally does. You turn the light on so we can see it. It's going to get bright in here, folks. Oh. Look at that. See, it's all over the place. Yeah. It's not bad, but it's just, it's water. I don't want it around electrical equipment. So anyways, folks, that being said, we have all these things going on, and I want you guys to prepare for October. We're going to be doing a lot of work. There's already been a lot of work that's been done, and there's going to be a lot more. It's going to continue. October is going to be a busy month for us. It's going to blow up. Boom, PRT, because we have so much stuff lined up, and I'm going to be on a bunch of different shows. So you'll have a lot of content. And I always say something. When I go on somebody's show, I don't just regurgitate. I'll give them a story or two that nobody's heard. Okay? Just like when my book, when I start putting that together, well, I'm already putting it together, but when I start getting it running with it, there's going to be some old stuff and then new stuff you never heard before. And a lot of it from DER. Let me tell you, you got to hear this, okay? A lot of these stories coming from DER are going to be in that book. Now, you're not just going to get, okay, this is the story from DER, and you're just going to get a regurgitated story from that. You're going to get, what you're going to get is the whole story. Because when I was on Voldemort's show, I wasn't really allowed to tell the whole story in its entirety. Like, The one about the kid, the little boy, who was seeing the dog man outside and the hat man in his house. Now, I wasn't able to delve deep into that story on his show because he tries to create a narrative of this is just one phenomena. They're not connected. They're not interconnected. When those, and you can turn this light over here. When they absolutely are interconnected, they absolutely are. It's all one aspect. That this there's no way that was a coincidence. What are the chances that there's a poltergeist activity going on, and then a dog man just happens to show up, a physical dog man just happens to show up and start messing with your kid and knocking on the window and trying to get him to come outside. What are the odds? Stories, please. Okay. Right now, I'm not telling stories. Okay. I will. Okay. But I have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things going on, and this is not technically story this is not the podcast. That's what the podcast is for. So not trying to be rude. Okay. But, if you want assembly line stories, go to Darkness Falls, whatever the heck his name is. Go to some of these other people. All right. So, anyways, what I'm trying to tell you is what I'm going to write about is not going to be just a regurgitation of stories that were told on that show. They're going to be the whole story, what was going on with those people, with these encounters that these people had. When I was able to go on the show and retell those stories, I was not allowed to tell anything that was considered woo, which was 90% of what I was given had some sort of supernatural element to it. But I had to leave all that out. That had to be omitted. That's a problem. That's a problem when you are told you have to fit everything into a box, and it has to be a physical box, and you can't, that's not, I don't do that. I need to tell the whole story. Like all of the encounters that they were having, they weren't just dogmen. I have a problem with that. And so it's bothered me for 6 years, 7 years, however long it's been since I first went on that show. It's been something that's eaten at me because a lot of those stories, I couldn't do them justice because all I was able to do was tell the one aspect of those stories. And so I want to be able to come out and tell you the entire story. Okay. These weird hauntings that were going on and how Dogman was there doing what it did, as a part of those hauntings, instead of just taking that part out and saying, this is the Dogman story. And you're kind of like leaving all the other stuff out, just saying like that didn't happen. You're doing a disservice. You're doing an injustice to the people whose stories they belong to. Yeah, it was cool that they got to have their Dogman story told, but you're not getting the rest of it. You're only getting that aspect. And so I need to go back and unfortunately it's going to take me listening to, those and making sure what I said on there, how much I said of those stories, has already been told. So you're not just listening to the same stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now is how to get because a lot of those stories had a lot more meat to them than just what was told on DER. So that's a problem for me because I want those people's stories to be told in their entirety. So sitting here dealing with a leak that I didn't even know we had. We fixed this one. Unbelievable. Now we have this one. So I guess they just come and they fix one little spot at a time. It's great. The American worker. God bless them. So anyways, what we got to do, folks, right now is I'm going to make a phone call and I'm going to get a person on the phone and we're going to have a conversation. And he's going to talk about his book. and he is a good guy. I spent a couple of hours on the phone with him on Sunday. He's just a great guy, fun guy to talk to, and I hope everybody likes him because I know I do. And Evan, thank you for that donation. That's a down payment on that. I'm going to tell you right now, for the first batch, I'm going to have to be giving a lot of free ones out, dude. I'm going to tell you that because there's so many people who've stuck by me and followed me since day one. Hey guys, I need a little help in here. Everybody's just in there talking and chatting away. I'm drowning over here, guys. Okay, all right. I guess everybody's going to ignore me. Jeez Louise, man. I need something else to put right here. This is soaking right here. This rain is not letting up, and it's a bad leak. But I'm relentless, folks. I'm going to keep going. No. Go get the can over there. Wow, you're dense as hell. Right there, right. Jeez. You are. I'm not even gonna. Can you call somebody here that can understand what I'm telling them? It's right there under the desk. It's right there. Please put it right here because I'm about to be electrocuted. Jeez. I don't care what it is. Put it right there for me, please. Got to be argued with on my show here. Just do what I ask. Man, it's so hard to get free help these days, guys. And I don't want your computer to be fried. So I'm trying to be nice here and do you a favor. Wow. Man, oh man. Trying to do a show, folks, and there was a thunderstorm going on outside. And I thought that the big problem might be that electricity cuts out or something happens and but instead it's a leak. It's unbelievable. It's splashing off onto the computer too. That's another problem. So anyways, we're going to power through this. I don't care what it takes. Man. So anyway, back to what I was saying. There's a bunch of things we need to talk about. I'm going to have this person. We're going to have a conversation, and after that, I'm going to have Charlie come on, and we're going to unveil the action figure line, the prototypes, some of the cryptids that he created, and the researchers, authors. And I think it's going to be really cool. But first, I got to get on the phone here and call this individual. And let me go ahead and do the Patreon too. Just being distracted by this. If you turn the regular light on, turn that one off, I can see the water a little better. Okay. So we got, there we go. Tommy Egan, Eric Garcia, Ryan, Super Hornet, Debbie Wolf, Extreme Reality Check, Histotech, James Estrada, Tim Renard, Ricardo Herrera, Barry Titan, Chronological, Dead Man Walking, Guy, Don Wells, Melissa Panay, Derek Tribble, Andrea Krask, Patrick Nickerson, Shannon, Dick Richards, Joyce Burnett, Wendy Page Williams, Barbara Blindy, Martin Hertel, Terry Fusler, Chris Clough, Curtis Turner, Philip Morn, Alexander Murphy, Matthew Durgo, Chris Smith, and Ralph Ayu. Curtis, I had someone that I referred to you because you are really good at Photoshop and you're always making memes. You and Chris Clough are always making memes. So she was saying that she needed, so I referred her to you. I don't know if she's reached out to you, but if she did, I told her that you were really good at what you do. And I think you are, because you've made enough memes of me that I know that you're good at what you do. Do we have something else for this part right here? I don't understand how this part was supposedly fixed. But then this part right here, what did they do? Stomp on it, and then while they were up there fixing that.
There wasn't even a leak here.
Yeah, now there is. Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess we can only do shows when it's not raining now. Nice place. I mean, we got a nice little setup here, but it's just there's a leak. It happens. So just making sure it doesn't get on the equipment. All right, so I'm about to call who I consider him a friend of mine. But I think he's a really great guy. So let's get him on the phone. I guess it's just there, huh?
That tile's still getting the water stain.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hey, Kenny, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, Kenny. I was telling everybody about our conversation the other day.
Yes.
Yeah, and when I was trying to talk you out of gambling all that money away on the Yankees, I was like, dude, Kenny, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. Kenny, in fact, you're such a nice guy that you don't even bother yourself with the with sports. I was like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could take myself away from the sports. But I don't bet on them. I don't bet anything like that. But I definitely get aggravated. My wife's like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get angry because it's like Cowboys and the Bucks play, and I'm just like, oh.
You can't hear him on the live stream.
Okay. We're gonna adjust the sound. Oh yeah, that thing got knocked around because of the freaking. We have a leak here, Kenny. What's happening?
Yeah, I was watching the live. I saw that.
It's crazy, dude. When you know it, when it rains, it pours, as they say.
Pun intended. You know it too.
Yeah, folks at home, can you hear Kenny? They can only hear me. Well, rest assured, he's saying some pretty bad things. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. He's not like that.
It's fixed.
Okay. All right. Say something, Kenny. Now the people can hear you.
All right, I am on.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, Gary just said, no, it says Kenny is real quiet. Josh's sound is good. Can y'all hear his voice? Say your voice. Speak.
Paranormal Round Table.
There we go. Did anybody hear that? Everybody's saying no, they can't hear him. We had to move the computer around because of the leak, so I think something got messed up on the volume. We'll get you going here, don't worry.
All right. Yeah, no worries.
Is it there? This is why I should be doing podcasts and not live. We're trying to operate in the middle of a thunderstorm, and it is pouring down. You could hear it just hitting the roof. And we had a leak is what happened, and they supposedly fixed one leak, but apparently they made another one. But it's a lot worse than the first one.
Well, it's because they want to come back to see you.
Somebody said, oh no, they killed Kenny. This person says, I can hear Kenny.
You can hear him, it's just kind of low.
It's low, huh? We usually don't have this many problems.
No worries.
Can you? That's now he's loud in my headphones. Can y'all hear him now?
Can you hear me?
Now everybody, I'm going to ask Kenny speak again.
Can y'all hear me? Am I on?
They said they can hear you. It's just low. I don't know why. They said it's very low. I can hear him loud in my headphones. It's very loud, but they can't hear him. And now we've had to push everything over across the table because of the freaking storm. Oh my gosh! Everything that could possibly go wrong is going wrong. But anyways, I'm gonna start talking. Nobody can hear him. I don't know what's going on with the sound. Is it playing through?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and talk, Kenny. They're just saying too quiet, really low, really low. It says you need to bury disappearing, reappearing in the middle of a box. I'm actually going to bring that key on the show and show y'all one day. Go ahead.
Figure out what's wrong with this here. You know what? This might be.
That's probably I was going to say that one's all the way down.
Okay, but if I turn that out, that's gonna blur your eardrums out with this.
The alert box.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to do it while Kenny's on the show. That's all we can do.
Let me just delete that alert box for now.
All right, go ahead.
I can always bring it back later.
All right. All right. Can everybody? Kenny, now try it again. We're going to try it again.
All right, am I here? Am I live?
They said,
Can everybody hear
Kenny
me?
if I don't breathe. Somebody said, if I don't breathe. You're like, I hear him, Kenny. I can hear you. So, oh, my gosh. Don't breathe, folks. Okay. Now we're going to try it again. Kenny, say, hey, I didn't bet on the Yankees.
Hey, I didn't bet on the Yankees.
Okay. Is it coming through at all?
Yeah, Kenny's loud and clear now.
Okay, Kenny's loud and clear. Now they said no, it's like the EVP. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right, Kenny, so we got you on. I'm sorry that everything's going on the way it is. We actually had somebody come and fix this roof, and now we have a huge leak on the other side. So I guess they stomped on the other side, so we'd have to pay them again.
Yeah, again, they just enjoyed coming by, hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, they did, and hearing stories. So
that's
okay,
awesome.
So we got Kenny. Kenny, introduce yourself. You tell them what you call what you're called.
All right. Well, I'm Kenny W. Irish, also known as the cryptopunkologist, nickname given to me by a good friend of mine, and yeah, I mean, I guess that's it for now.
Okay, so when you you promote your book, you always put on there cryptopunkologist, and that's what caught me. That's what caught my attention. You promoted in my group, and I thought, who is this guy, the cryptopunkologist? And then I saw your book on Amazon, which is a really good price for a 218-page book. It's like 13 something, right? And
yeah.
And Ken Gerhard actually did the foreword on your book.
He did.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And so we started talking, and I told you, hey, I would like to get to know more about you. Your book has been it was on the bestseller, was it?
Yeah, it hit #1 bestseller on Amazon 2 times in so far this year. So it's done extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm humbled at how well it's done and the support that I've received from the cryptid community and response to purchasing it and reaching out to me and definitely encouraging me and it's been great. It's been good. I'm a blessed man.
Yeah, and so when we were talking the other day, we ended up finding out that we had a lot in common. Some things that I'm not going to talk about on the show, but there's some things we had in common, and I thought this guy's a cool guy. The name of your book, American Cryptids, right?
Yes, yeah, American Cryptids in Pursuit of the Elusive Creatures.
Yeah, and so everybody check out this book. Now, Kenny's going to come on, and we're going to do it, or we're going to do the Friday podcast together, and we're going to redo the pre-record. And I'm going to tell you right now, very interesting stuff. You even touch on a lot of subjects in that book. It's kind of like a, you know what your book reminds me of? It reminds me of Barton Nunley's Inhumanoids, and the way that you go through. Yeah, and I'm
nice.
I'm gonna say, that's a compliment, because that's like my favorite cryptid book. Barton Nunley's Inhumanoids is my favorite cryptid book, and his first edition, we were talking about that earlier, is worth a ton of money. I mean, it is worth a ton of money. Okay, so and we're going to talk about that again October 5th if everybody tunes in between me, Ken Gerhard, and Barton Nunley, because anyways, we have a surprise for everybody if they are interested. But your book, it seems like you touch on a lot of also subjects that are kind of like rare, like the Loveland Frogman. right?
Right. Yeah.
And that story in particular, okay, that's a story that you don't hear a lot about. Most people tend to overlook a lot of these things, but you actually touched on that subject. You went into the Dogman, you went into the Bigfoot, right?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, with writing the book, it was like I always say, I was trying to do something different and not, mimic, what, everybody else had already, put out with all the greats. Again, like the, Lyle Blackburns, the Ken Gerhards. I was trying to do something different. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make this personal, and I'm not just going to write a book. I'm going to write it in a sense as I'm taking you on a journey across the country to explore the mystery, the unknown, the legend, the lore, and the strange. And kind of came up with a game plan formula for it. And once I came up with that, I ran with it, and I don't know, it's done really well, and I'm really excited about it. Plus, it's 30 some odd years worth of research and weird and craziness that I've looked into, all finally down in a publication where I was able to share with everybody. And that was one of the big things, was I wanted to be able to get it out there and again, do something different with it, and also make it personal. So it covers all 50 states, and that was another form of making it personal, because anytime somebody picks up a book and it covers states, and it talks about different states and different histories and facts on it, they feel a personal connection, and they go right to the state either they're from or the one they're living with to see what's being said. And yeah, I mean, the formula behind the book again was to make it personal to anybody who's picking it up, but also feel like again, I'm taking them across the country on a journey of the unknown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you you've been into this subject for a long time.
Yeah, since I was 4.
Yeah, you're a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, again, a big Godzilla fan, and I was living in northern Vermont at the time, and in Lake Champlain, you've got Champ, the Lake Champlain monster, and somebody telling me, you tell a 4-year-old who loves Godzilla, oh, by the way, there's a Godzilla-like creature that lives in this lake. Mm-hmm. I mean, that you're gonna get that little dude hooked, and that was pretty much it. From there, I had been hooked, and just it's I don't know, it's been great. Again, I just embrace the mystery of these encounters, and the stories that have been passed down from generation to generation. Starting with Native Americans, and so again, I just wanted to get it all in a publication, and be able to just get it out there. And again, I just I just taking folks on a journey.
Yeah, and see, there's one thing that we do differ on, and I got to be honest. I was told that there was a Godzilla-like monster living in Loch Ness when I was little. And then I found out a few months later through ridicule of my classmates that wasn't true. So my uncle that told me that, I waited until I was an adult, and I beat him senseless for that. Yeah. Good. Anyway, that's how I handle things, man. I handle my business because bro, you lied to me. All right, so I don't play that, dog. So I see how you are. I see how you roll. You're very nice, and you accepted that lie, but not me. Not me. Yeah. I waited till we went fishing one day, and I'm like, oh, yeah, bam, bam, bam. No, I didn't do that. I love my uncles. Actually, I have all my uncles and aunts are great people. I have no problems with any of them. No, but it was interesting when you said that, because we had a conversation about Lake Champlain, and everybody knows he's pretty much a very popular guy in this community. He passed away. Yeah, Scott Mardis. I actually named my cat Mardis after him, and it was kind of sad. I was going back and looking through my phone, and you know how people pop up on Facebook, and he popped up, and so I went to the messenger when we were doing messages back and forth. Scott was cool, man. Scott was a night owl, and I could message him, he would be up at weird hours, and so he would like, I'd be up, on Facebook, and I'd just see him on there and be like, hey, what's up? And we started kicking around. Hey, you know what? We did a show together. I think it was 2 or 3 parts. I think it was a 3-parter. I don't know. It was pretty long. And then he said, hey, you want to do another show? And I said, yeah. And we decided we were going to do one, kind of how the one that me and Gerhard and Blackburn and Redfern and Nunley are going to do, where we talk about the myth, the metaphysical versus the physical.
Right.
And so he said you could kind of champion the metaphysical, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I told Scott, I said, is it metaphysical? Because I don't really know that it is. I kind of lean toward there being like a physical creature there. And he goes, well, he's like, I'm even starting to think that maybe some of these accounts are sort of weird, So we kind of started looking into it, and I would always hit him up when I needed something referenced. It was usually him or Ken about the prehistoric. Like I told you, I got a story about the prehistoric kangaroos out of Australia that were just humongous. I mean, and this guy what he did was they had a dingo problem at one time in Australia, and they built fences, and then they had bounties on them and blah, blah, blah. And he was out there in the middle of absolute nowhere. And this guy reached out to a friend of a friend, and I ended up getting to talk to him briefly. But Australia is like 15 hours at where he's at. It was like 15, 16 hours ahead of me. So it was weird to coordinate that. But I had to talk to him, and say, hey, what did you see? And so I hit Scott up, and Scott was like, the first question, did you ask him, was he sober? And I was like, yeah, I think he was. He goes, okay, well, let's start there. And then he goes, it's not really my wheelhouse. He goes, this, but he was so knowledgeable about the prehistoric world. Like Scott had an absolute love and passion for prehistory. And he liked, and he actually complimented me, which meant the world to me, because of how much he knew, how much knowledge he had, that I had a pretty good grasp on prehistory too. I'm a history guy anyway, but the prehistorical stuff just fascinates me to no end, because you still to this day get stories of these little small tiny the raptor creatures and T-Rexes, not the big ones when you see, but you get and you wonder, like, what is that? I mean, and you get people seeing them in certain areas like over and over again. So then you start to go, okay, there's something to this. I mean, this is could be real, and then people see things that kind of, and we talked about this, Kenny, where they disappear, and you're like, what is that? Yeah, so Scott was he was the guy when it came to the Lake Champlain. As somebody just said that you went real in depth on the Lake Champlain. That's interesting. That's cool. And I'm looking forward to talking more about that when you come on and we do our set together. And we're going to get your opinions on a lot of things. And I'm going to wring every ounce of information I can from you, from your brain. Like Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon, where they put that thing on Dr. Zarkov and they take all of his memories out and they just wring them out. That's what I'm going to do to you, Kenny. I'm going to get all the information I can from the cryptopunkologist.
Hey, I'm game, man. I'm ready.
That's awesome. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it, man. So, folks, do yourself a favor. Check out his book, American Cryptids. And like I said, my dear friend Ken Gerhard actually wrote the foreword to that book. And so that's cool that you wrote that book, and I think you did it from the heart, But that's not the only book you've written. Now, you've written a couple others, but they were from a different genre. Do you want to tell the audience about that?
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, I'm like a third grader at heart, and so I love writing young readers chapter books. And in February of 2020, I released one through Dark Moon Press Publishing called Stanley Riker and the Bigfoot Runaround. Mm-hmm. It's about 3 friends, two boys and a girl. They're in 3rd grade, and they go to a camp called Camp Daybreak, and they're going there for the weekend. And one of the camp counselors ends up, telling all the campers that, hey, there's been all kinds of Bigfoot sightings, Sasquatch sightings in the area, and because of that, there's a chance that they could have to close the camp down. So the three pulled together to come up with a game plan to, go out and capture the Bigfoot and save their camp. So they're in third grade. So that was called Stanley Riker and the Bigfoot Runaround. And then I've got it's out, but we haven't really been marketing it yet. It's out through Hangar One Publishing, who is owned by Doug Hishek, the producer and creator of the show Monster Quest. Mm-hmm. It's called Alexandra in the Moonlight Caper, and that is the same three characters. The difference is Stanley Riker takes a back seat to Alexandra, and in this story, it's a few days before Halloween, and they come into their classroom, the third grade classroom, and there's a substitute teacher there, and she says that their teacher, who was pregnant, ended up having the baby early. Well, they're in third grade. They'd never heard of that, and they've got, obviously their imagination. And the lady's last name is Witch Nurse, so they actually believe that she's a witch, that has kidnapped her teacher kidnapped their teacher in an attempt to take over the class, the school, the town, and eventually the world. So they go on a crazy adventure to try to come up with proof to bring to the sheriff, so that way they can save their teacher, their class, their school, their town, and the world.
Oh, wow. So that's your fiction story that you wrote for children, basically.
Yep. Yeah. Stanley Riker and the Bigfoot Runaround in Alexandra in the Moonlight Caper.
That's a shame, because I actually did that. I actually already did that. I saved the world, twice as a kid. I saved the world. Once in third grade, and I had a teacher. Same thing, everything exactly the same. So I'm probably going to have I'm probably going to sue you. I like you, though. Okay. I mean, there's no offense. I like you. You're a good guy, but I am going to have to file a lawsuit for you.
I'll change the name. I'll change one of the characters to Josh Turner. How about that?
There you go. See, and he has to
negotiations.
He has to be the hero. And then,
I can make you the hero.
I will completely forgive you for using my life story as a child.
You are generous.
I am.
Way generous.
I'm like Xerxes. I am a generous. Whatever. No, it's cool,
awesome.
Kenny. It's awesome, dude. So, Kenny, your book, American Cryptids, guys, go out, and the name is awesome too. The name is cool. Like, as American Cryptids, you know what it does? It brings back memories to me of like American muscle cars or something. Like American. It's just when you have that name in there, it just sounds cool. It's a cool name. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Who came up with the name?
It was pretty much between myself and the publishing company. It was published through Beyond the Fray Publishing, so it was pretty much myself and Shannon LeGros. Oh yeah. So because the thing is we wanted it to be catchy, but again it's about it covers all 50 states, so we were just kind of like, okay, we know it's got to be something American, and how do we do it, and how do we make it flow? How can we market it? What's a name that we can market? And we came up with American Cryptids, the subtitle In Pursuit of the Elusive Creatures. So we ran with it, and it's memorable too, and that's what's important, especially in this day and age when there's so many different publications coming out every single day. So and one of my backgrounds is in marketing, so I was just like, this could really work, and this could do really well, and really you really want it to be memorable. You want it to be something that folks can remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, the name's pretty cool, and your handle, the Cryptopunkologist, that's catchy. That's pretty cool. There's nobody else out there like that. And one more thing before I let you go, Kenny, do you still have the mohawk?
My hair's gotten a lot longer on the top, so it's not really. It's more kind of pulled back or in my face. So. Okay. But it may make a comeback.
Well, mohawks never go out of style, man. Let me tell you that. I had a mohawk when I was a young teenager. Yeah, and so I thought I was cool, man. But yeah, my head's kind of big for that. So
Yeah.
I think it looks much better on you, Kenny. Well, so Kenny, thank you for stopping by, folks. Be looking for that book. It's on Amazon. It hit the #1 bestseller. This guy's up and coming. He's doing what he's doing. And he's going to come on the show, and we're going to do a Friday set together. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun talking to you on Sunday. We talked for 2.5 hours. You know that?
Okay, so here's the thing. We got on the phone at 4 o'clock, okay, my time. I got off the phone with you at 7:30 my time.
Okay, so it was 3.5 hours. And we talked.
Exactly. Prior to that, we had, little conversations on Messenger, a couple sentences, this and that. So yeah, no, it was great. It was a good connection, and like you said, we had. It turns out we've got a lot in common in many different ways. So
yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and when for the Friday show, when we get that going, I'm thinking about reading some of the encounters out of American Cryptids, not just talking about them, actually doing, a couple chapters, maybe reading them. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
See what happens. Whatever happens, man, it happens. You know how I do it, man. I do discussions and wherever it takes us, and so we're going to have a good time. Folks, that's Kenny Irish. Good guy. The crypto punkologist. And I'm going to let you go, Kenny, because I'm about to drown over here in those leaks we got up here at the studio. But, man, you just can't get things done nowadays.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Oh, sounds good, my friend. Thanks for reaching out. I'm looking forward to talking again. And, the Paranormal Round Table family, you guys are great. Love you guys. And, I'm, hoping to run into you folks soon.
Yeah, and you're also a listener to the show, which is cool. I mean, that's awesome too, So, yeah, man, it was good talking to you on Sunday, and it's going to be good to talk even more when we do the Friday show. And so, thanks for stopping by, and I'm going to let you go, Kenny. You have the rest of your night.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, man. My friend.
I'll see you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. So, folks, that was Kenny. He's a great guy. I mean, I had a good time talking to him. I mean, it was like we just started talking, and like he said, it was 3 hours, which anybody that knows me knows I can talk. I mean, we can tell stories all night, all day. I got files on just all kinds of stuff. But I'll tell you what, I don't think I have anywhere near what Albert Rosales has when it comes to the Inhumanoid, the humanoid files that he's got. So when he comes on the show, it's going to be a good time too. We just got to find the time to do it because I have so much going on. And like I said, we're going to do a special. We're going to have an extra show this month. It's going to be Halloween. It's going to be, and then we're going to have a special. So, so we got a lot of stuff planned for Halloween. And I just don't know. There's so much material and so much we've recorded that I don't even know what we're going to release and how we're going to do it. It's just we're going to have to sit there and sift through it and just figure it out. But tonight is a big mess. I can't believe this with the rain. I hope that it didn't put a damper on things. I'm sorry, folks. I joke and I laugh even when stuff's going wrong. It's just, my friends tell me, it's like, what's wrong with you, man? You know what? You gotta laugh. That's all you can do. You can't just kick rocks, dude. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna bring on our other guest that's here in the studio, and he's going to present because he drove all the way from Houston, and I did not anticipate this happening. Somebody's saying something here. What did it say? I lived in the Mojave Desert for 20 years, spent time in my childhood in Ohio, Kentucky, Montana, live in Georgia from Texas. Takes forever to get back up to the my wife grew up in the Mojave Desert, so I thought that was interesting. T. Cutler, thank you for the donation, and Evan, I appreciate it. Evan Tabaldo and Hussein, thank you for those donations. Tim, appreciate it. Thank you, all you guys that donated. You guys are great. That's awesome. Thank you for the help. It helps us with the show and to purchase books and to give them away, because basically all we do is just we get the money and then we buy stuff to give away, and it just keeps perpetuating the show. It just keeps going, and I'm able to keep continuing to produce content and give you guys the best I can. And like I said, this last time around, I gave the money to the Hendersons. Anybody's willing to do that wants to help them. They lost both of their parents, so if anybody can find it in their heart to do that. Another thing we're going to be doing, a friend of mine, Angela Pelegi, who sculpts toys for a living, has been in communication with us, and I'm gonna have to get her on the show at some point and let her describe kind of what she does. It's very interesting. But she was telling me that she would like to sculpt some miniature figures, and we may be able to use that to help jumpstart the mass production of the line that Charlie has created at my behest. So what I want to do is probably we're going to do these 3 3/4 inch figures. This is the goal, and we're going to do them in double blister packs. And you're going to get a author researcher, but you're going to get a Dogman or a Bigfoot or a Chupacabra, whatever their wheelhouse is. David Weatherly, Black Eyed Kids, whatever. It's just we haven't figured it all out, but that's what we want to do, and it takes money to do that. And so we're going to have to do a Kickstarter, I guess. I've never done that before. I'm not real familiar with that. I do have some partners that I've partnered up with, people who are willing to pitch in and donate and support it. And I have some people who are interested in helping us grow that. If you're one of those people and you're interested in helping us grow that, let me know, okay? Because that would be a big help. And right now, I'm going to have to take a quick break. Hang on one second, folks. Oh, man. And I can't even, stop this thing here. Okay, folks. This looks absolutely terrible. But somebody said the dog man took me. This is the camera I'm using now. Okay, folks. This looks absolutely terrible. What can you do? Okay, so here's the deal. The show must go on. So I'm using the crappy laptop camera, and I'm in my office now, which doesn't have the same leaky problem that the studio has, because whoever that person was that went up there on the roof stomped holes in it. Maybe they did it on purpose, so we have to make them come back. So I got Charlie here, but the camera is so small, and I don't know how we're going to be able to do this. But the show must go on. We got to finish this, and hopefully we can get somebody worth their salt to come and fix this freaking roof. See if we can get a little bit of better angle there. The light it's too bright. We'd have to get a background light or something. You could set the lamp up, yeah. We can just try to. Also, the free cap giveaway too. We're going to post this video onto the Paranormal Round Table group page like we always do, and we're going to give away the caps. And I'm going to try and give away 10 of them. So if you can go make a comment, you can get a cap. So we're still going to do that. We're not going to stop. The rain isn't going to stop us. The flooding isn't going to stop us. Whatever's going on. What is it? The leak. I just think that real men conquer and laugh at the elements. That's what you're supposed to do. Right, Charlie? I suppose. So let's go ahead and get this situated here, and we're going to bring Charlie on, and we're going to do this. I don't care what it takes. The camera could be set up here. You know, yeah, we could probably put the camera up here. With the camera, how long would it take to do that?
Just a minute.
Okay. If you guys bear with me, I promise you I'll tell you a story, and I will get this show on the road here. Yeah, we could, but the thing is there's such a glare from the camera. It just looks ridiculous. I saw the lighting on there, and it made me look like I was an old man, which I am, but I don't have a bunch of gray hair. That's ridiculous. I hate that. I pride myself on that. Thank you so much, guys. Except for Scorpion, he's not really helping. Thank you, everybody.
No, he's helping tremendously by not helping.
But staying out of the way. Yes. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. He runs from the church. Folks, he runs from the Church of the Forgotten. Then he gets on TV for it. Okay? Then he helps by not helping.
The best way anyone can help me is by staying out of my way.
Here, Charlie, let's see if we can squeeze in together. Me and Charlie are going to squeeze in together right here. Very good. From this little bitty camera here. So, Charlie, how have you been?
Busy.
Busy? You've been very busy. Very busy.
I'm going to try and get this other camera.
But was it worth it, though?
Set up here.
Depends on if people like it.
You've become a celebrity now.
Not really, but...
Yeah, you have. Come on, Charlie. You're being modest. Everybody knows Charlie Perez, and everybody wants a figure from Charlie Perez. You did do. He mentioned what's her name earlier, Kenny, the one you did for Anne Celine, Shannon LeGros. Right? Yeah, he mentioned Shannon LeGros earlier. There we go. We'll get this done. We had to get out of the leaky area. When you know the good part's the leaky area. This right here is fine.
See if the light works, how it looks.
There we go. Okay, so let's squeeze in here. Now this, folks, is actually where we're at right here. Is it's gonna be too bright. Look at that. It should look like Hannibal Lecter too. This. Yeah. Well, maybe, what about the other light that goes up, the round circular one? We could probably use that one. So what we're doing here is we had some technical difficulties and we got it fixed and we lost a bunch of people. We had 50, 60 people jumped off because of the freaking technical difficulties. You freaking traitors, you quitters. Who the heck? Let me see if I can get this going.
Why would it?
Well, because it's like when I look straight ahead, it's like I'm looking down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was we had a leak in the studio, and it got so bad that we had to come out here and do the show. This is actually behind me is my office, so you're getting to know that about me. This is our receptionist area. When you walk in, this is where the receptionist sits, and then we have, oh my gosh, and then we have another office right there, and then we have the studio, and the leak is in the studio when you know it. So the place where we really needed the most to do the show got kind of jacked up. So here's what we're gonna do: we're gonna have Charlie come out. Or have you and Squirt bring the figures out. Oh, you got them right there? And we're just going to show you. Oh, let me look at the camera. It's hard to adjust to what we're doing now.
I have photos that I can post.
Yeah, and the photos too, yeah. So everybody can see the figures and what Charlie did. And I'm sorry that we had that problem that took place earlier with the rain and all that. So let's get started. Let's show everybody.
Well, do they want to see the people? The
let's do one cryptid, one person, one cryptid, one person, like Christmas. Let's do it like Christmas here. It's gonna be cool. Let's just pick a person and then we'll show you what the product looks like. Oh yeah, we don't have Ken Gerhardt. He's the only one because we shipped 5 of them to Ken, right? And so we have 2 that are being made. That'll come to me eventually. So we don't have Ken's. Ken is the only one that's missing. So Ken, you have yours, and if you like, you can post them like Lyle did on your page or whatever. Like I said, I wanted to stress the fact that this was something that Charlie wanted to do for me and PRT, and I said, hey, let's expand it and let's do it with these other researchers and some other cryptids. Let's see where this goes because I want to make an action figure line. I believe when it's mass produced, it's going to be neat and people are going to be able to buy them. You're going to be able to get them in mass. So a lot of people are going to be wanting these figures that are basically prototypes. And I am not selling mine. I've already been offered like a lot of money for mine. But Ken and Lyle, I personally encourage them to take them with them to their events, to their conferences. This wasn't their idea. It was mine. And I want you to get off their backs about it. It's not an ego thing by them. I promise you it's not. Okay? And I kind of set the price and told them, hey, you need to do this. And they said, okay. And they agreed. And they want to do that for their fans at the shows. And then we're going to use that kind of as a barometer for the market to see how it sells. Now, Charlie has to spend almost $50, right, per figure.
A little less.
A little less, okay, 45 or something like that.
Between 35 and 45.
Okay, so he lied. So anyway, I'm just kidding. Charlie didn't lie. No, so 40, it was about 35 to 45, depending on the figure, okay? This all started weeks ago, months ago, because Charlie made a figure from my nightmares from something that I saw when I was 15 years old. The dog man or what they're calling a dog man, we call that the Texas Wolfman, okay, for lack of a better term. So Charlie made the Michigan Dog Man. And then from the Michigan Dog Man, he made a spinoff character figure, the Texas Wolfman, which is what I saw. Okay. And it looked exactly spot on what I saw that night on October 31st, 1990. So I thought, man, this guy is really good at what he does. Charlie offered to make figures for me and the PRT team. And I thought, you know what? Let's make figures of legends, of people who have been doing this for a long time. So without further ado, let's get the figures and let's show them. Pick anybody you want. Just
your set first.
don't matter. Pick anybody. I don't care about me.
These are the ones that are probably your set.
You've done a great job on these, folks. There is, okay, yeah, and that's it right there. See? That is Lyle Blackburn. If you can see it, I'll hold it up a little further. That's a Lyle Blackburn figure. Paranormal in plastic. Charlie came up with the name. This right here is Lyle Blackburn, and he's wearing a really, really, really ugly shirt. No, I'm just kidding. It's Paranormal Round Table, the Paranormal Round Table logo. And then on the back, you can see a picture of me. I'm obviously the most handsome. I'm the most handsome person on there. And then you have the nicest guy on there is Nick. And then you got this guy up here, which, like I said, is me. And then you got this guy who's, I don't know, he's kind of weird. He likes the Packers. That part right there alone just makes me not want to, I don't know. But anyway, that's y'all's choice. And then you have this guy right here who's a dog man, right?
Mm-hmm. So this one comes with the someone includes a copy of his book at the very bottom. Sinister Swamps. It's packaged with a guitar.
Yeah.
You can see in the back behind him, you got to scale with the figure a poster of the Legend of Boggy Creek.
Mm-hmm.
You see it.
So that's really cool. And this is so we got Lyle Blackburn. And then we have David Weatherly, one of my favorite authors. Great guy, David Weatherly. And then we have picture of him on the back right there.
I actually have these put into different series.
Mm-hmm.
So this is series 3, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see it.
And we've got other figures that some have been made, some have not yet been made.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a mail away exclusive. You only get it through the mail. I'm just kidding. It's for the.
But it's cool because eventually we will have chase figures and things like that. So that's David. That's David's figure. Another one of my favorite people. And then Barton Nunley, great friend of mine. Once again, he is wearing the Paranormal Roundtable shirt. Now, I promise you, they're not all wearing the Paranormal Roundtable shirt. That was actually not my idea either. I just said, hey, put the logo right there. So we got the Paranormal Roundtable logo. So it will be Paranormal Roundtable Toys. Okay. And then Barton Nunley, of course, this is Nightmare, right? His sword that he calls Nightmare, and he's got the spear. And there he is out in the field going after the beast of the LBL, which I keep telling him to stay away from it because Barton, it's a very, very dangerous animal.
So this is actually series 2. Show them the back.
Got the backing. There's the backing of it. And you even got the Chupacabra and the Black-Eyed Kid on there too. And then
they're part of series 2.
Yeah, and then you got Nick Valente right there. Okay, Nick, another good personal friend of mine, and I think he made a good figure. Yes, there's Nick. Now, folks, I like Nick Valente. He's a great researcher, great guy. Has not written a book and has not. There's a glare from the light. That light. We're gonna turn that light off. Let's use this one right here. He is not. Yeah, the big one. There you go. It's a lot less glare. He's not written a book. He doesn't have a podcast. He's on podcasts all the time. What he does do is go out in the field constantly and research. Now, you can see right here, the dog. And I got a couple ideas for everybody's like, we need females. So we did Linda Godfrey, who I just got the phone with earlier. So we did Linda Godfrey, and then I'm thinking I'm going to talk to and see if I can get Dana Holyfield to let us do her as a figure, because Honey Island Swamp Monster, really cool story. The 8mm footage, one of my favorites. There's Linda. There's Charlie's version of Linda Godfrey. And she actually said that earlier when she was talking to me, she said, what did she say? She said she looked like a, oh God, I can't remember. She said like a librarian and a researcher. Did she tell you that?
No, but I talked to Barton.
Barton, yeah.
She told me she loved it.
Yeah, and she liked it a lot. So that's Linda Godfrey right there.
And here's the Chase figure.
And then the Chase figure.
Alternate colors.
The alternate colors. So you have two. We can't let me move this one right here. That's the other Linda Godfrey. And then let's do this one. There you go. There's Linda.
That's
Another.
Show them the different ones on the back that will be coming soon. So this is
the rake, which you already made,
yes.
right? Which you gave to me. And then you have the lizard man. And then you have a ghost, which is a
Civil War ghost.
Confederate soldier.
I'm going to try and make that in the future.
So that's pretty cool. A Civil War soldier. What else we got? Okay. All right. My man, Nick Redfern. Okay. Nick Redfern. Now this one, he comes with a beanie. Oh, he looks so menacing right there. Ooh.
Removable beanie.
And he's got the little guy, the little chupacabra. And chupacabra, it's right there. And then, yeah, on the side, you've got his books.
No, those are UFO magazines.
Oh, really? What is that? I didn't know that.
I just found some little miniature UFO magazines.
Where are his books, Charlie? That was what I wanted to see. I'm just kidding. I didn't even know you were going to do that. That's freaking amazing, dude. And the work this guy does, it can't be overstated. It's unreal. I mean, it's freaking unreal. And then on the back there, you got me. You got my ugly mug, and then you got Lyle and Nick right there, and then the dog man.
It should have Ken on the back, though.
It should have Ken on the back, instead of the dog man?
Instead of Nick.
Instead of Nick? Yeah, this is the Nick figure. Well, still pretty cool. So, moving right along. Ah, look at this guy. Here's me right here, folks. This one's mine. This, it's so fucking good. Gosh, look at the face. Look at that face. Yeah. It was a face only my wife and my mother could love. Obviously. Man, oh my gosh, he looks so mean. Do I look like that? Do I look like that when I'm angry, Anthony?
You look like that all the time.
Oh my gosh, shut up. Nobody asked you. Actually, I did, but whatever. And then you have the backing. It shows.
That's what Wolf looks like when he's happy.
I'm known as a frowner, but you know what? I laugh a lot. I'm a fun-loving criminal. I always laugh. I'm not a criminal. I'm just saying I'm a fun-loving person.
This one I called the conference. David Weatherly.
This is the conference. The conference. David Weatherly means business. Now David usually wears a hat, though. Doesn't he have a hat?
I think so.
I thought so.
Big one.
Yeah. So where's his hat?
I just put him in regular casual clothes. I haven't.
Yeah. So we got to get David in his hat, because all of these guys wear a hat, and Nick, except for Nick, wears a beanie, and I wear a cap sometimes.
Field researcher.
And then there's David Weatherly.
The field researcher.
As a field researcher, so you have 3 David Weatherlys, 3 different ones, and then on the back, you have the different creatures, the little dudes, man. You have the chupacabra. See that?
The Loveland Frog.
The Loveland Frog. We were just talking about that with Kenny Irish, because it's in his book. The Loveland Frog, man. Yeah, I'm the most menacing looking guy on here. I look terrible. Oh, and then if you haven't heard of Lyle Blackburn's band, you got to check it out. And I'll tell you where to start. Elvira, one of my favorite songs, and not only that one, but what's the other one I like to listen to? Drink with the Living Dead and Phantom Moon. And Barton doesn't like Elvira. I'm like, dude, my wife named her dog Elvira, Mistress of the Bark. Okay, so if we have a dog. Elvira, Mistress of the Bark. She's about to be groomed. Poor little thing just looks like a little ragamuffin, and we finally were going to get her groomed because we had COVID for a while, so we weren't able to get her groomed. But we've been over it for 3 weeks, so it's time to go do things. So That is the Ghoultown Lyle Blackburn. Freaking amazing. And his band is amazing. Lyle's amazing. Lyle's like my hero. I love Lyle. He's a great guy. And then another one of my friends right here, Barton Nunley, in the different PRT logo shirt.
This one's a gray shirt.
Yeah. Really, really cool.
They all have minor differences.
So he's got them weapons out there, man. He's about to kill some dog, man. Everybody's like, don't kill them. Yeah.
Mothman Festival, Nick Redfern.
Mothman Festival, Nick Redfern.
With original Mothman art.
With the original Mothman art. Okay. Somebody said my motorcycle's named Elvira, V Star of the Dark. Oh, it's Curtis. What's up, Curtis? What's up, my brother? That's my man. No relation, but we should be related. You fit right in. And then there's another one of me.
This is the one with sunglasses.
Okay, so I have sunglasses on this one? Oh, cool. Okay. That's neat. And then it's got my tattoo. I have tattoos, folks. You just can't see them because I cover them up with my shirts. But yes, I do have tattoos. And this is Sunglasses Wolf. That is me right there. And I look extremely happy in that one, too. As you can see, look at this. I'm so happy. And this is in a different shirt, right? The different PRT logo shirt?
Yes. That one is in classic. The other one is in the... There's two that are in the classic logo and then one with the new logo.
Yeah.
This one I call Swamp Investigator Lyle.
Swamp Investigator Lyle. Here we go. Lyle going through the swamp. Honey Island, Falk, all that stuff he researched. There he is right there. He's got a lantern. He's holding the lantern. He can hold the lantern.
One comes with sunglasses as well.
Yeah, he's got sunglasses. That's a cool pic of Lyle too. Look at that, man. Dude, the guy's cool, man. He's just a cool dude, man. And now, is this a special Nick Redfern? Or is this just a regular Nick Redfern with him wearing the PRT?
Originally, I had him in a different shirt, but I changed him to be.
What happened to the one with the?
It was the band, the Misfits.
Yeah.
So
what happened? You took it off?
Yeah, I chose not to do that
because it's. But the thing is, it's just going to be. It was going to be his personal figure. Mm-hmm. He's not going to sell it or anything, so it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
There was no copyright to that, so. Oh well. Sorry, Nick. He put you in a PRT shirt. The band with the Misfits thing is, Lyle actually knows them. So push come to shove, he could talk to them, be like, "Hey guys, let's not, And then this is another Valente. Is this one? Is this how similar is this one to the first one?
This one is wearing more of a almost like armor.
Yeah.
It's more like a tattoo.
See, that looks bad, hey man. This is Nick Valente right there.
The other one is wearing more of a military regular uniform.
Nick Valente is one of the heads of the NADP, the North American Dogman Project. They go out on location and they search for this sucker. Not something I'm really in a hurry to do, but whatever. To each his own.
This is probably the best
of the Barton Nunleys. Okay, so this is the best one of the Barton Nunley figures.
That's him in his regular field research.
Everybody said, okay, you're going to make a Bigfoot figure? Stick around because you're going to see it. There's Barton right there. Okay, so we had all these different ones. Now, folks, here's the catch. We're going to give away every third one of these, okay? We're not going to charge you for it. We're going to do a giveaway, and you're actually going to get, now, one of you is going to get a Barton Nunley action figure at the end of our set on Friday, me and Barton. When that's said and done, we're going to put it on Paranormal Round Table and then Paranormal Lounge, and we're going to give away the Hunt the Dogman DVD, the special one that there's only 5 copies of in existence. And then we're going to give away one of these Barton Nunley action figures. So some lucky person is going to have a Barton Nunley action figure. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mail it to him and have him sign it, and then we're going to have you, the listener, you will be the owner of that. Someone will also get a Nick Redfern. You will get a Ken Gerhardt, a Lyle Blackburn, and a David Weather. We're going to give every third of those figures away. Unfortunately, we don't have a third Linda Godfrey or Nick Valente, so you can't get those. Those are mine. I'm greedy with them. So
this is the very first one that I made.
This is the first one? This is the one that looks a little more happy. I wish you wouldn't have made a PRT shirt, though. I wish you'd have made it like this, like a Cobra shirt. I like wearing G.I. Joe stuff with Cobra, because they were cool, That's the one where I kind of look happy, folks. And you can see, if you look, I'm actually smiling a little bit in that one. I'm like,
It is a PRT exclusive.
And it is, PRT exclusive.
Here are the creatures.
Now we got the cryptids. This is the part that everybody wants to see. Now, who is this guy? Tell us what that is.
This is your standard North American Sasquatch.
Wow.
That's what I've labeled it as.
Look at this guy.
Surprisingly, the figure that I used to make them was another Sasquatch from Marvel Comics. But to make it my own, I resculpted
Well,
the entire head.
you sculpted it completely different, the way it should look. Really.
Body's the same, repainted, but the face is totally redone.
Yeah. See, and the face that is how Bigfoot's supposed to look right there, folks.
He has a more cone-shaped head.
Somebody just said no Linda. Yes, we did. We just showed the Linda. Y'all aren't paying attention. You're jumping off and going to do other things, like live your lives. Stop doing that. That's the problem.
Here we have another deluxe figure. This is the Falk Monster.
The Falk Monster. Wow. And where did you get the concept for this? What is this? Like, tell me about it. It's this one right here.
So there's a character in Marvel called Sasquatch.
Uh-huh.
If you're familiar with
But does this look like what Lyle described as the Falk Monster?
Yeah, I took from his art. I gave it like the longer, shaggy hair, kind of. I think one difference is
that's
that
crazy looking.
this one has more of a short skin, just short hair. The one that he has on his artwork has more like longer, drooping down.
Then on the back you have like David Weatherly on there.
Yeah, Series 3.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. So these figures are prototypes.
Now this figure does not have a package. This one, I still have to create packaging for it. This is the one that doesn't have a box, but it's called Lechusa.
Oh, okay. Ooh, God, that's creepy. Should be a lot bigger though.
Yeah. It's about the size of a regular owl.
You can see that. It's got the human-like face. Those of Latino descent would understand, especially Mexican people, that this is Lechusa. Let me tell you a little bit about the Lechusa, folks, just so in case you don't know. I'm sure Charlie knows, and pretty much Scorpion and Anthony, everybody here is Hispanic. I'll tell you that you don't whistle at it. It'll whistle at you 3 times, and if you whistle back, then it attacks you. And the one way to defeat the Lechusa is to say the prayer of the 12 truths. And so Armando told a story like that on my show, and I had to kind of play along so that they could explain to everybody what the prayer of the 12 truths was. And this guy's like falling. He's falling down.
Yeah, you can take him out.
That's pretty cool, though. Black-eyed kid. Stand up, kid. Look at him.
Oh, yeah,
help me. Let me in your house.
I drew the original artwork on that.
I just want to use the phone. I'm just a helpless child. I want to use the phone so I can eat you.
Of course, he would come packaged with David Weatherly.
David Weatherly, yeah. So you'd have David Weatherly with the black-eyed children or black-eyed people. I tried to talk Nick into taking the MIB to do a MIB, but but he wanted Chupacabra because that was the thing he had studied the most. So I thought that was cool. Now explain this guy.
This is based off of his episode, the vampire episode, where you talk about the vampire that jumps onto the balcony, that lady in New Orleans. So
there it is.
And then the one that was at Fort Bliss.
Yeah, right up. Yeah, it was in El Paso. So there we go. There's that right there.
The big mouth that opens up.
It's a vampire.
And I drew the original artwork because there's no pictures of any vampires.
That's crazy.
This is also Series 3.
Who's that in the middle right there? Oh, that's David Weatherly too. Yeah. That's cool.
That one.
This one's really cool. Now check this out, folks. This one from Lyle Blackburn's book, Lizard Man. Look at that. That's the lizard man right there. That is freaking crazy.
Turn it a little sideways because you can kind of see that he has spines down his back.
Oh, wow.
I guess you
Well, let's not mess with it. But yeah, he's got spines. Okay, let me show you in the camera, see if you can see that. There you go. Get a good angle of that. That's crazy, man. You did such a good job on these.
The face is entirely completely sculpted from scratch over the red skull from Captain America.
Kind of reminds me of the movie V. Remember the show V? That's crazy, dude. All right, so you got that.
Oh, this one they've already seen, but now has a package.
Yeah, this one is the rake. We showed that one when he first came, but now it's packaged. So we got that one.
That's part of Series 5. And this one I put together rather quickly.
And here we have one of the Blues Brothers, folks. I'm on a mission from God. Sorry, I couldn't help it. This is Men in Black. They always show up and something happens.
He actually comes with a case file.
And they don't help anything.
It comes with a little top secret case file with information on the Mothman in there. So it fits in his hand.
That's really cool. Oh, wow. So what is this guy? Who is this? Flatwoods. Oh, okay. You can see from the back right there, the Flatwoods monster.
I actually thought of the idea for it.
God, that's crazy.
On the 12th, which is the anniversary. This is September 12th. 69 years since the first sighting in 52. Now this is the bottom part is plastic, but the rest of it was completely hand sculpted. And this one is actually glow in the dark.
Oh wow!
So it has some glow in the dark overtones. So and arms are bendable.
That's cool.
And then you asked for this one, so I am delivering.
The Mothman, yes. Wow! I said, hey, let's do a Mothman. What do you guys think? You see that?
This one's actually personally one of my favorites. I got to show it to you out of the box. So.
Okay.
So the box is all open. They are resealable. They're tied down with wire. Here we have the Mothman with bendable wings.
Yeah, and just so everybody understands, what happened was Ken lost a bet, a friendly bet. So we had him eat crow. Ken, if you're listening, you know that's true. Ken ate crow, so we took the wings from the crow that had died from probably some kind of disease, and that we found in the Walmart parking lot. And we used those wings to make the Mothman. So here you go, Ken. There's your crow. Thank you for giving us the wings, though, after you ate the crow.
Let me show you
Ken, thank you.
The entire head is sculpted. It still retains articulation right here, so you can bend them forward.
Oh, wow.
And then the backwards legs are still movable.
Man, you did a great job on
There you go. And the wings, I'm just keeping them down like this.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really, really good. That's
We're
awesome.
using a sitting position or standing.
It's a creepy thing, dude.
It has real feathers. I don't think they're bird feathers. They're crafts.
It's the crow that Ken had to eat.
That's true. But,
oh. Ken didn't believe that I could pull something off that I did. I'm giddy. I can't wait to talk about it on October 5th. If my studio is not flooded.
that would be it. But there's actually one bonus figure that Josh doesn't know about.
Really?
Yeah, I put it together last minute.
Okay.
This is Series 6. It's let me see what that is.
Oh, what is this? Who is this guy? Oh my gosh, it's Indrid Cold. Wow. And then you have a Wendigo back here and melon heads. Are you planning on maybe doing these guys? I have with your own style?
I have the Victorian era vampire.
Oh, that'd be
planned.
cool.
I have the Wendigo in development. I think Ryan Tremblay posted that image,
Yeah.
so it's going to be based off that image, that artwork.
And then the Jersey Devil. That's cool, man.
So I have that. The ones I want to work
Skinwalker, Melonheads.
The ones that I want to work on the most are the Wendigo and the Civil War Ghosts.
And actually, the guy that we interviewed earlier, Kenny Irish, he talks about the Melonheads in his new book, the American Cryptids. You know.
So this one was made from just a standard suited body, the coats. I kind of tried to get it exactly how it was described in the original encounter.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was wearing green instead, but there are other stories where he's wearing blue. And the face is the Joker, just repainted.
I'm sorry, the lighting and everything's kind of off because we're having to sit in the reception area of my office, not in my studio, because the studio just literally got flooded. Like the roof that we thought had gotten fixed did not get fixed. So it's another problem I'm going to have to deal with. So that's really cool. So that is really awesome. Look at this, man. Incredible. So if you're into cryptids, these are awesome, dude. Tell you what.
Which one do you like the best?
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of them. I like the Sasquatch one like a lot. Of course I like my Texas Wolfman, but he creeps me out. I'm not gonna lie. I've been in here by myself, you know, in the evening and walked in there and I look at that thing and I turn it around because I'm like,
I can get a box to put it in, bigger.
Like a big one.
Yes.
It would take a bigger box, but I don't know, man. They're all cool. I mean, I like the red fern, you know. I don't know, man. It's like looking at all your friends and colleagues and stuff, and just it's amazing. It's amazing what you've done here. Here, you want to help him, Anthony? Gotta put these back. And this is Redfern with a Mothman shirt on, right?
Yeah, it says 1966 to 2021.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. This guy's got that's got to be the angriest looking figure I've ever seen. I don't know, this one's not even angry as that one. That one's pretty bad. Another one of me. It's just me being angry. Don't believe it? It's still raining out there. What the heck? Scorpions, make it stop raining. What are you doing? Do something. This is crazy. Go out there and scream at the sky. Ah!
Ritualistic laying down.
Yeah, aren't you like half Navajo? You're supposed to be able to do something, some kind of magic or something. Okay, I know you're not a medicine man, but you're part Navajo. You should be able to, like, you know, do a rain dance. Call your mom, find out how it works. So, folks, that's Charlie Perez's skill, and it will probably be something that we do with him and another person named Angela Pelagi. We're all going to kind of work together as a team, and those are names you're going to eventually learn. You're going to know who they are because we're going to put together something, and it's going to be cool. Angela sculpts these little, I don't even know what to call them. Look, those muscles. You know what I'm talking about? Muscles, like they're like little monitos. I don't know, little men, and we used to play with them when we were kids. And she sculpts them, and she sent me some really cool pictures, and we're going to maybe make a line of those. You can stamp those out a lot cheaper, but they're really cool, and then maybe we could use them to fund a 3 3/4 inch line. Now, we are going to start a Kickstarter. I don't know a lot about Kickstarter, so I'm going to have people that know what the heck they're doing. We have probably about 2/3 of the way of what we need financially, but we're going to need more so that we can scale these down to a 3 3/4 inch line that can be mass produced, and that you can buy them on our website. Until that happens, we're relegated to these custom figures, and these custom figures are expensive. They're expensive to make. They're expensive to produce. Charlie has been spending weeks doing these for us, and so Charlie's got paid. He's got paid well, but it's going to be like one of those things where you can't just call Charlie up and go, "Hey, make me a figure." Da, 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 da.
But I've had to tell people I'm booked.
Yeah, you're booked. You're booked pretty solid. So we are going to make one of each of the line that I am going to pay for. I'm going to fund it with my own money and to pay Charlie, and we're going to donate to the Cryptid Museum. What's it called? The Lauren Coleman's Museum. I wanted to announce that. So Lauren will have his set of figures. I think he has, who'd you send so far? Lyle. And so he'll have the Ken and the Nick or whatever. He probably doesn't want me up there. I'm nobody, but he's going to have those guys immortalized in plastic. And I am announcing that I will be donating those to the museum for no charge. It's going to be on my dime. All I care about is that people have those. They can go and they can see them, and it will be representing Paranormal Round Table. Now, I had somebody ask me a question the other day. They said, "You do a show about the paranormal," and then I couldn't believe this woman said that. She goes, "What does that have to do with cryptids?" I'm like, to me, everything that's out of the realm of normality is paranormal. So cryptids, to me, are paranormal, and most people think of paranormal, they think of ghosts. But I looked at that word in a completely different light, because how many times are you going to walk out of the store at HEB and just see a Bigfoot? Okay, so if you did see a Bigfoot in the parking lot at HEB, it would be paranormal. Even going out in the woods and seeing things can be out of the realm of normality. It's going to be unusual. It's going to be an aberration. Now, I mean aberration, not apparition. I had to explain this to somebody the other day. They just could not understand when I said, "You're talking about apparitions." No, we were talking about an aberration, not apparition. Apparition being something you don't see all the time, that's unusual and it's bizarre. So, and it is thundering and lightning and raining like crazy out here.
For the actual action figure line, what is the articulation on the
well, that's going to be up to you and probably Angela, and we're all going to have to work together on it and decide how we're going to do that. Typically, these things, I'm not even going to get into the costs and what. And so we'll probably start off with like 4 cryptids for humans, and then the humans will be paired up with their particular cryptid wheelhouse, what they have studied and done their most work on.
At the very beginning, I mentioned like you could do the 5-point articulation, like those reaction figures by Funko and Super 7. But I think you wanted something more along the lines of like G.I. Joe.
Yeah, like the blister pack of the what do you call it? The double blister packs that they had. I think it was for the 25th anniversary.
With the comic book in the back.
Yeah, and explain to the audience what that is.
So G.I. Joe came back in the early 2000s, or I don't know when, but
was it mid 2000s?
Maybe with the 25th anniversary line, where it's all the original characters, but now they've been updated. They still move the same way, but the sculpt work is better. So
I think it was in 2007.
Probably.
Who's at the news?
Chad.
So these figures have like metal pieces inside for to hold them together. So they move around. They got a ball jointed head, so you can rotate it like this. The torso moves. Joints here, and at the wrist. Same with the legs. So those are fully posable, as opposed to the retro style where it just moves right here.
Yeah. I don't really like those. I mean, for the collector of action figures, and me and Charlie are action figure collectors, I can tell you that. I had the whole series of the Transformers Masterpiece, but they were worth so much that I was just like, I'm not going to hold on to a toy when it's worth like $700-800 that I only paid $100 for. So I was like, boom, So I sold them all and made a lick off of it. Literally use it to buy a car. I'm not joking. I bought a used Crown Vic with that money for the company, whatever. Which Tony Baloney Mushu blew up Literally, he's wrecked 3 cars, folks. He's destroyed 3 cars. I love him. He's my godson, but geez, he's hard on cars. So he destroyed that. But anyway, that was what I mean. We had money just lying around in these figures. When you start looking at it from a collector's perspective, you're not going to spend money on this and then take it out and play with it. Okay, these are not really toys. What they are figures that are kind of just meant to be in the plastic and kind of stay there. I got like a couple figures that I've had. I can't even tell you how long I've had them when I got them. I got a Conan that's been in there forever. Warlord from DC. I got him. And I got like Leonidas from the 300 when it first came out, you know. And if you took them out, they wouldn't really be fun toys to play with anyway, because they just kind of go like, you know, you can't really do it with them. Not that I've tried them like Spaceballs. Putting them, you know, I'm not playing with them, you know. But the thing is, they are not really made to be played with. And the figures that Charlie made are not toys. They're really just, you know, to be kept in the packaging, you know, and put up on a wall. Those figures right there are literally, each and every one of them is really a 1 of 1. You can call them 1 of 5, you know, 2 of 5, whatever, of like the ones that Ken and Lyle they're going to take to their conferences. But you got to look at it like those are all individual figures sculpted by the hand of Charlie Perez. Charlie Perez did this. You know, I commissioned him to do it. It was nobody else's idea, you know, and they don't want the credit for it because they don't want people looking at them and thinking that they have this ego trip. And it wasn't even my original ego. It was Charlie said, hey, I want to do figures of you guys. And I told him, hey, let's expand it, you know, and let's do these people who are legends in this field. David Weatherly, you know, Nick Redfern, Barton Nunley, Lyle Blackburn, Ken Gerhardt, Linda Godfrey. I mean, you're talking about the best of the best, the all-stars in this field. Now, there's a few other people I can name too. That you know, we could just go on and on. You know, you could say, okay, let's make one of Lauren Coleman, let's make one of Jody Cook, let's make one of all these different people. But we just had only so much we could do. And so we had to make a decision, like, where do we cut it off, you know? And so we had to have a cutoff point, you know. I would gladly give up my own spot to give to one of these other guys that's been out there doing this because, you know, like I said, I'm not an author. I haven't written a book. I'm just a podcaster, dude, and I'm telling stories, you know. But here's the thing. I am bound and determined to get this line off the ground so that we can have Dogman, Michigan Dogman, Beasts of Bray Road. You know, I want this cryptid line more than anything. I want this cryptid line to have the Boggy Creek, Beast Boggy Creek. I want the Honey Island Swamp Monster. And if we can, if you, the audience, people out there that are fans of the show, this is why we don't shoot in the receptionist area. So, but unfortunately, like I said, my studio got flooded, folks. So please forgive me for the unprofessionalism. But anyways, you know, I want to create this line, but when you, the listeners, the people out there, the fans of these cryptids and of these researchers and authors and all these wonderful people, you are going to have to be the ones that support this. And we need to know if you're going to buy these toys. If they come out mass produced, would you buy one? Would you buy a Linda Godfrey with a Beast of Bray Road action figure? Would you buy a Josh Turner with a Texas Wolfman? That's what we need to know. Lyle Blackburn with the Beast of Boggy Creek, you know? Would you buy a Ken Gerhardt with a Sasquatch? I mean, you know, David Weatherly, Black Eyed Kid, Nick Redfern, Chupacabra. That's the question that we are trying to find out. Where the market is for this. Of course, it's a fringe thing. We're not going to make a whole bunch of them. You're talking like a few hundred each. So they're going to be very rare. And so if you would like to buy these figures and you think that you would be interested in that, then I need to know, because I need to know if I'm going to put my money into something that's going to come to fruition. You know, if there's a market for Barton Nunley and the Beast of the OBL. That's what I want to know. Hit me up. I don't care if you flood my messenger with messages. My email address is joshturner@prtpodcast.com. Send me an email. Any way you can get a hold of me. A Paranormal Roundtable group page, whatever you want to do. But I need to know if there is a market for these and if people are willing to buy these and pay money for these things. And about how much, because I got to look at how much it's going to cost to stamp them out. And I think that it's going to be something that is going to be very unique. It's going to be something that our community can be proud of, and people can look at that and go, wow, that's amazing. And it's going to be something for them to look at and go, wow, I have this cryptid figure, you know, this dogman, you know, Michigan dogman. You have all these different types of Bigfoot. The Gugwee, I was thinking about that too, like a Gugwee, maybe having the Genosqua.
I have a picture of it on the back of one of these guys.
Of the Gugwee?
Yeah.
See, and that's a set that I did with Ryan Tremblay. We did the Gugwee and the Genosqua back to back, and then we did Goatman Origins.
You mentioned him.
The Gugwee right there. Folks, this character right here, the Gugwee, is a very creepy dude. And we're going to be talking about that again when we get Ken and Lyle and Nick and all of us together. We're going to be talking about that again. Thank you.
It's basically a snouted Sasquatch, right?
Yeah, but it has like the straight legs, like a normal Bigfoot, but it's got the snout on it. And that leads me into the reason I spoke about that. I told you I'd tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story. I have a witness that lives here in Austin now. This happened in, not Southern Illinois, not Illinois, Indiana. This happened in Northern Indiana, and they literally had an encounter with something that looked like a Gugwee. Okay, this woman was going to her car after a little party, kind of get together with some friends, whatever. It was a Christmas party, and they lived in a gated community where this happened. Was a gated community, but it was very much in the suburbs. Okay, like, you know how you go out to your friend's house, somebody has a nice place or whatever, or, you know, a couple that you know and they have a nice place, and it's in a gated community, but it's in a heavily wooded area in the suburbs. Yeah. So, you know, and this was witnessed also by a security guard who I'm waiting to get confirmation from, who was supposed to give me more information about it. And this Gugwee, I call it a Gugwee because that's what I think it was standing in between some bushes, and there were these trees. I forget what you call them, evergreen trees, I think it was. And it was just kind of there in between them. And she says that she was going to her car. She was on her phone, was kind of like this, talking, not really paying attention, and was getting ready to head home after a Christmas party. And this thing stepped out from between the two bushes or trees, whatever, and literally charged at her. She got in her car, started it up. Didn't have a very big car. It was like a Nissan Altima or a Nissan Max, something like that. But anyway, it wasn't like a great big car. And this thing rocked the car and then armed through the windshield and began to grab at her from the passenger side. Thank goodness it didn't go to the other side. This thing did leave blood in the passenger side, which I told her it would have been a great idea to try to get the whatever, but I guess this person was not really interested in, you know. Of course, she didn't get a picture of it because she's trying to get the heck out of there. And this was at the bottom of a hill of the driveway that was full of cars. And luckily, she could get out. And she drove out, pulled out, and the thing didn't pursue her. Luckily, it just like kind of gave up. I think it cut its arm pretty good, so it just walked back into the woods. Description I got, did not get a good look at the feet. or the legs below the knee. But what she did see looked like straight legs, very thick tree trunk legs at the top. She was pretty convinced that the legs were straight, but she can't remember 100% because this was a very traumatic thing that happened to this person. And the face, the snout, that's the thing. The snout was not a dogman type snout because I was very, very adamant to, about, hey, did it have a dogman type snout? No, it did not. It was a like short muzzled. The story that comes to mind, which I always reference, is a guy named Melvin who gave me his story out of outside of Spokane, Washington. He was reading meters, like a gas meter, whatever, years ago, and he was in one of those little trucks. Thing chased him and then knocked his truck over. Looked very much like a gugwe. I wouldn't say it was a dog man. I wouldn't say it was a Bigfoot, because to me, the whole gugwe thing is like it's like two different things mixed together, kind of like a chimeric creature. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so weird. I don't know how to describe it. I don't even. Do you know what a gugwe is? What it looks like? Like how what it supposedly looks like, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, how would you describe it?
Just a Sasquatch with a dogman.
Kind of a dogman face, but not quite. Yeah, that's the best way I could describe it. When me and Ryan Tremblay did our set on Whisper to a Scream podcast, and I told some stories, we went through some of the stories, and Ryan's like, "That sounds like a gugwe," and that sounds like a gugwe. This one doesn't sound like a gugwe. So we were able to, and then he gave some history of the creature. And I would say that it's a genetically modified type creature that somebody took a dogman and spliced it together with some sort of Sasquatch, and they created this hybrid, super aggressive creature. But I can't say that because the legends of these things have been around since the natives. They had legends of them. I believe the picture of the Beast of Seven Shoots, a lot of people believe that's a gugwe. It has almost like a baboonish looking head, but it looks it's straight up, tall, up and down. Baboon does not stand straight up tall, but it's going to be like this, hunched over. But this creature stands very tall, straight up and down. And I believe that probably is a gugwe. And in that famous photo, it's holding what looks like a little dog, which is kind of messed up. So I don't know what that is. Almost has kind of like a mandrill looking face. I don't know. But these are very aggressive types of Sasquatch or dogman Sasquatch type creature. The unfortunate thing about it is we don't know which one it is.
Call it a dog squatch.
Call it a wolf squatch, man. Yeah. So that's a story that was given to me by somebody that was at a Christmas party in Indiana, in the suburbs, and they were basically, their car was attacked. Unfortunately, a lot of people said, "Hey, you're leaving a Christmas party. You're inebriated. That's why you had that happen, because you're just, you're drunk." I don't believe that. I don't believe that what happened to her was because she had some eggnog and a couple of shots of, Garrison Brothers or whatever the heck. But yeah, that's a story of gugwe, and that's cool that you had that picture. I didn't even know you had that. But yeah, so me and Lyle were actually going over this the other day about some of these stories, and we are going to try to talk about them when we do our set together. It's going to be a show. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, when you get Ken Gerhardt, Lyle Blackburn, Martin Nunley, and Nick Redfern all together, never been done before. Okay, they're all going to be together in one show, talking Bigfoot, Dogman. Okay, with me. So we're going to try to get everyone's opinions and everyone's thoughts on what these things are. I'm going to throw out some stuff, and we're going to see what they have to say about it. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope everyone else is excited about it as I am. We have a lot of things planned for October. Like they say in The Crow, it can't rain all the time. So even if we don't get this fixed soon, if it's not raining, I should be safe to record in there and not be flooded out or electrocuted, hopefully, folks. So, I'm just trying to take it in stride, man. It's like, what can you do about it? We're over here recording in my, entry room, what's it called? The receptionist desk. And I hate that happened, Charlie. I'm so sorry about that. Charlie comes all the way from Houston just to sit here next to me all cramped up in the receptionist desk or whatever. But it is what it is. We set it up as quick as we could, and I'm sorry that we lost a bunch of listeners. We had like 260 people. We were probably on our way to over 300 in the chat, and then boom, nature is what it is. It does what it does. So let's see here. Let's read some of these comments. Gugwe, one cat away from crazy midnight. At Gugwe is Gugwe, I believe, right? Isn't that how you spell it? I think that's how you spell it. Oh, Sheila Loya. Yes, you know what, Sheila? I sent that off today. You're gonna be pleased with. I stuffed some things in there into their book bags. I gave them backpacks, and I put the PRT lamps in there, and I gave them PRT hats. So should be pretty cool. They should like that, hopefully. And some stickers. They wanted stickers, and I gotta order more stickers. I'm almost out of PRT stickers. You believe? Can't believe when people ask for PRT stickers. They want stickers. And to the PRT family, hey, Dick Richards, what's going on, man? The live stream dropped. Yeah. Unfortunately, we had a massive roof leak. We actually had somebody here late last week, claiming to have fixed spots. Didn't happen. Started raining very heavily, like storming, like big time, and for a while. And the water just started pouring into the studio. So we got some work to do on that to get that fixed. So hopefully we'll be able to get that done. And so the only thing it'll probably affect is the live streams, because I can record pretty much anywhere. I may have to be doing the live streams from the receptionist desk until we can get this worked out and get it fixed. But here we go.
Can't you change the background?
Yeah, you could just like put up a curtain or something back.
I thought there was like a way that you can change the background to be like something like an ongoing video or something like the ocean. Or...
Yeah, that's true. Why don't we ask the tech guy? Hey, Anthony. Charlie brought up a good point. Charlie, tell him what you just said.
Can you change the background to something that's like the video or something? Like space or the ocean or background of what the...
Yeah.
Doesn't it like cut him out and then put a background?
There is if you're like on Skype or something.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But I mean, like, I don't know any way to do it on the fly right now.
You probably have the haunted woods behind them.
Yeah. You probably have to have some kind of software or something, but I've never really looked into it.
I want to get it done. Geez, that's not the ocean, sir. I want the ocean behind me. I want the Kraken behind me. Whatever. I'm just kidding. I don't give a crap.
I have a whole list of future cryptid figures put together. If you want to hear some of my ideas.
Go ahead. Throw it out.
So, for Series 7, I was thinking of the Goat Man.
Yeah, I was thinking Goat Man for sure, dude. Like Goat Man, and then maybe make a smaller dog man.
A New Orleans or a Haitian zombie.
Mm-hmm.
The hag. It'd be pretty fun to make. And I do actual.
I don't do politicians. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Great Alien.
Okay.
The Woman in White. Typical like.
La Llorona?
Kind of like La Llorona, but just like your typical ghost. You see the woman in the white dress. The butterfly people.
That's an interesting story. Do you know the story of the butterfly people? Tell it. Tell the
That's
story.
the one of the children in the tornado.
Can you turn the light down a little bit? My face looks like I'm covered in makeup or something weird. I don't know.
Is that how they go?
Is that the story of the children that were in a school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the tornado rips off the roof. And so the teachers are there huddled with them in the closet. And then...
Yeah, turn the bathroom on and then the lamp and then turn this off. Charlie, sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. The kids see these what look like angels above them. And they kind of like create like a barrier over them and they end up surviving the tornado.
And they all claim that they were saved by the butterfly people.
So they do sketches of them and sketches look almost exactly
all identical. And they look like butterflies. It's very weird. It's a very weird thing that they saw. They can't hear you. Well, it's this freaking computer microphone. Yeah, I just got to speak up a little bit. So go ahead and say it again.
So these children are in a school, and they're experiencing a tornado, and the tornado rips off the roof, and the teachers are huddled with them in this closet, and all of a sudden above them in the storm they see these like angels with like this light coming down on them, and they kind of like cover they create like a barrier, and they end up surviving the tornado, and afterwards all the kids draw what they see, and they draw these insect-like women with wings. Now some of them thought they were angels, some of them thought they were like they didn't know what they were. So
yeah, and they described them as light, light beings, and they were butterfly looking, which was.
I think they do a good cover of it on I think Monsters and Mysteries in America. They talk about it.
Did they talk about it on Monsters and Mysteries? Oh, okay. Yes, I think they did talk about it on Monsters and Mysteries in America. I think I heard it on another podcast too. I don't listen to a lot of other podcasts. My wife used to listen to other stuff. But I mean, I remember hearing about it. My wife could tell you about it. She was all into that. She read about that.
And, some other ideas I had were the Yeti.
The Yeti would be like a white Bigfoot, right? Would it be white?
Mm-hmm.
Some people, though, have said, now this, of course, it doesn't matter because it's a toy line, but they have said that the Yeti's not actually white. There are people who've climbed up in the mountains and said that they have seen a Sasquatch living up but it's not white. It's actually brown. Mm-hmm. Have you heard that?
I mean, I'd imagine that's what it looks like. And then another idea I had was,
move over a little bit.
Of course, the Pukwudgie.
The Pukwudgie, there you go. Mm-hmm.
The rock apes of Vietnam.
What is the triangle? Is it the Bennington Triangle? What's it called? Where the Pukwudgies live?
It's up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's up in Massachusetts.
Bridgewater.
The Bridgewater Triangle. There you go. Now I think there actually is a Bennington Triangle too. I'm starting to think that the Devil's Backbone is actually a triangle too. I got to look at a map and go back and kind of see because it doesn't all fit into the triangle. That's the thing. It was like there's this spattering of sightings of Dogman outside of it, the west of it.
And then I had another idea for a flying humanoid. That's interesting because I don't know how I would make that one.
Flying humanoid. Something beyond like Mothman. It wouldn't be.
Do you know the story of that police officer from Mexico?
Oh yeah, with the bruja. What he called the bruja. Tell the audience that story.
So I heard that story like when I was really little. on some show. I don't remember what it was, but this police officer is doing his rounds one night, and he's from Mexico, and he's
Was it in Mexico City?
somewhere.
Yeah, I thought it was
But
Mexico City.
he notices while he's sitting there, this silhouette, this figure dropped from a tree,
Mm-hmm.
and it like moves towards his car, but it's not touching the ground, and
Yeah,
It's-
like a
it's,
floating witch looking thing.
it's wearing like a cloak, and I think he said the face looked old and wrinkled. And I remember when I saw this on the show, they drew like a sketch of what he described, but the face was a gray alien. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, the face was ashen white, I believe, but he said that it looked like a hag,
This
but
thing-
white.
He started smashing its whole body into his windshield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it freaked him out. But then when he started talking about it, I believe they let him go or something.
If you see the footage of him like after the encounter, there's footage of him like huddled. He looks terrified.
I would be too. I mean,
I don't know if anyone remembers. There's a toy line of aliens by a company called Shadowbox. Do you know that one? They make like models as well.
I think so.
They make models, but they also make action figures. And they had this toy line called the Great Aliens of Zeta Reticuli.
Okay.
And I remember I picked up a few of them at Roswell when I went to Roswell as a kid.
Oh shoot! Did you get them from the museum?
No, they had this souvenir shop that if you go into,
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them up on the main street.
but there was a certain souvenir shop I think that closed.
Yeah.
But when it was open, like you go inside, and the wall is like, or the walls are black, but they have like stars all over them, so it looks like you're in space, and it's dark in there. And they have like a giant cryogenic container with an alien in it. But if you go to the back, they have like a little area where you can eat.
Yes.
And they have like a
Yes, and it's like fluorescent green.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
and-
I've been there a couple times. It's no longer. They're not opening.
When I
now?
went the second time, I went for a second time to Roswell, and they didn't have it.
Oh wow.
But is it the same place? Because in the back they had like these diner booths, and in one of
Yeah.
the booths is an alien.
Yeah,
Remember that?
and it's not a restaurant. It's not a diner anymore. They used to have food there.
Yeah.
They used to sell food, not anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I went there way back, and they had like a diner there. Hey, Score. Maybe I could ask him. He knows.
They're saying they can't hear me.
That sucks, man. So people they're not even able to hear us.
I mean, they can hear it, but like they can hear y'all, but they just can't hear Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. So we'll lean in here. We're doing the best we can.
Okay.
We're talking about Roswell. There was a museum there, and Charlie remembers the same thing I do. And they had like if you've been to Roswell, which I've been several times, there is a place that had like a souvenir shop in the front, and they used to have a diner in the back where they actually served food, and then they just kind of shut it down, and they didn't serve the food anymore. But the souvenir part was still open, and it was run by like an elderly couple, I think, something like that.
I think so. Can they hear me now though?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Somebody says Charlie sounds like he's talking in a can. He actually is, folks. He's actually talking into a can. It's an invisible can that was given to us by a cloaked Bigfoot. What year was that me and you and Diablo went on? We did a bodyguard job.
Yeah, I remember that. It was
And then we went all the way to Roswell.
yeah. That was the first time that I had actually gone somewhere other than Mexico to the state of Texas.
Yeah. I tell you, we went with us in 2018, and we went to 17 states.
Oh yeah.
But what was that? We did a bodyguard job for somebody, and then it fell through.
2004 or something like that.
Oh no! It couldn't have been. We were already living in the domain area, so it had to be 2000. It was probably the second or third year that I was with when I started my company. So it would have been
2010.
2009, I think.
9 or 10, something like that.
Does Anthony have a
What was that?
Does Anthony have a microphone?
I don't know. Yeah, and somebody says yes, the museum where they had an actual alien body. I remember they used to have a chupacabra skeleton in front of a museum in San Antonio.
Yeah.
You remember that, Scorp? And it was gross, man. You could see like the carne on there, still like the meat was still on it, and it was like, dude, but you know what's crazy though, is it was inside of like this tube and you couldn't smell anything. Like you think it'd be rotting, it would be smelling, but it wasn't. It was weird. It was just weird. I don't know. And the guy there swore up and down, that it was a chupacabra and whatever.
I actually was in Roswell, I think for the alien parade in July.
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely remember that, but no, the reason it's funny because when I was there, I actually went into the museum and I saw Stanton Friedman there.
Oh God, Stanton Friedman.
And
I've always wanted to meet him and Richard Hoagland.
Can they hear me now?
No, I gotta look at it.
The Stanton Friedman died, right? Okay, yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
And I actually missed that guy Giorgio Tsoukalos.
Tsoukalos, yeah.
I missed him by one day.
Oh man, he's actually he was doing something recently where he was letting everybody talk to him for like 4 minutes, and I thought about talking to him and like signing up for that just so I could go, hey dude, what's up with your hair? And then that was it. I have other questions to ask, but that would be the most pertinent.
I'm gonna tell him why I brought up Roswell in a second.
Okay.
Nothing's working today.
Bad, everything.
All right, see if
Hello. Does it work now? So the reason that I brought up Roswell is because.
Hold on. Can y'all hear Charlie? Can y'all hear Charlie now? We got the microphone.
Yeah, as long as you see that bar going like that, they can hear you.
Okay, good.
I don't know how loud they can hear you.
Well, I get that, but we need to know if it's loud enough.
Okay.
I think it's frozen now too. Man, we've been plagued by gremlins, dude. It's crazy. Let's see. They said, yep.
Okay. So,
thank you, Richards. Appreciate it.
So I wanted to know.
Somebody said no. You can't hear us? You can't hear us talking on the microphone? Try going toward the microphone too.
Hello. So the reason that I brought up Roswell is because they used to sell at that store that I was telling you about, that little gift shop, this toy line called the Gray Aliens of Zeta Reticuli. And when I was a kid, I like bought a bunch of them. I still have one loose. I have this little gray. He's like a brown alien with a blue suit.
Mm-hmm.
But I had this one that had a certain name, but I forget. I remember what he looked like. He was a gray alien, but he was wearing a blue hood and a blue cloak, and she was shorter than all the other ones. So after watching that episode about the flying humanoid, that's what I pictured a flying humanoid to look like.
Why Zeta Reticuli? Is that where the gray aliens are from?
You know, the Barney and
Betty Hill, and they said that they were from Zeta Reticuli.
I think they because I remember Betty asks them where they're from, and she says, "Oh, you wouldn't understand," and she shows them her star map, and I think the star map is the exact coordinates as Zeta Reticuli.
Oh wow! So that's because I've always believed, folks. I've always believed that the Greys were biological robots. They're like mercenaries, and they work for the other factions. So if you believe that, like I do, you start to think, where do they come from? I mean, are they from the inner Earth? Are they from another dimension? Do they travel? Do they come from? Everything's going through this right here, right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they can hear you.
They can't hear me.
Even though you're further from the mic, but he talks a little bit softer, so it has to be close.
Yeah, they said you're very faint in the audio. I don't know who they're talking about.
I'll try and be louder.
I don't know who they're talking about, me or you, but I'll just do this when I talk. So here's the thing, folks. Okay, we got on the subject of aliens, and this is weird to just kind of jump around, but that's how it works. One of the things that I have heard was that I've heard different things, that there's certain types of beings that come from the Pleiades, I've heard Andromeda. I've heard Zeta Reticuli. It's all these different places. So when you say what you're talking about is all based upon the abduction of Betty and Barney Hill, right? Okay, yeah. It's all based upon one thing. And when you base something upon one thing, well, I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, what do you get? I mean, do we believe that is the way it is? That's the truth. I don't know. I've always thought that maybe there was this is back before I began to think that things were more from the inner earth. But I believed at one time that there was like maybe a federation, like a loose sort of like, think of it like this, folks. The French and Indian War, okay? The British show up here, they make claims that, they start saying this is ours, this is ours, this is ours. They make allies with the Mohawk. So they start to wage war against the Huron and the Delaware, who were allies with the French. So you see these different factions. It starts to break down into these different groups. Very warlike natives from the east that are kind of caught up in the war between these colonial powers. I kind of looked at it like us. We're kind of like the natives. At some point, maybe being made to choose a side. Whose side are you going to choose between these colonialists from the stars? Because I really and truly thought that these things were coming here to create colonies, and the only reason that they didn't succeed was because that they were busy fighting one another. And I thought that, like, the Nordics, or the blonde haired, were fighting the reptilians and so on and so forth. And so what Charlie was saying about the Zeta Reticuli with the toy, it was like the alien, the gray alien. They show up over and over again in abduction scenarios, whether it's with mantis creatures or reptilians. And I thought, you know why they're always showing up with these different types of aids? Because they're working for the highest bidder. They're mercenaries. They're like the Mandalorians in Star Wars. They're like the what do you call those? Like mercenaries from the stars.
Do you remember the movie?
There you go.
Do you remember the movie Fire in the Sky?
Yeah, Travis Walton.
Remember when in that movie they make the aliens grays just like suits?
Mm-hmm. And then they had the faces, they had the little beady eyes.
Yeah. So that's. But yeah, look up a toy line called The Gray Aliens of Zeta Reticuli. It's by a company called Shadowbox. It's been around for a long time. I don't think they make anything now, but I think they make models. But yeah, they had all of them back at that gift shop in Roswell, and that's where I picked them all up.
With that toy line that you're talking about, Charlie, did they have like gray alien, tall aliens, or did they have short ones? Were there different?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
The box is about this big.
Uh-huh.
Inside you had the different. They had the small one I told you about with the cloak and the hood. And I have one that's like he has like a light blue suit with like a brownish tan head. They have the reptilian, and they make a Men in Black. Man in Black as well. But that one I think is like a bendable figure, or just they're all non-posable. They're just static figures.
Now that we're on this weird subject of aliens and all this other stuff, let me ask you a question. A question for Charlie here, and I want you to tell me what you think of this. You should have grabbed the little microphone. We have a little microphone. It's like, I don't know why you grabbed this one, but anyways, we're doing the best we can here, folks. What we got because of the leak. So let me ask you a question. Do you believe that the Men in Black are a type of alien, a government official, or some sort of like some sort of alien, like alien officials, or I mean, what do you think they are? Tell me your opinion on the Men in Black.
My dad and I were actually just listening to a podcast about the Men in Black, and you know the story of the lady from Point Pleasant back in 66 or 67.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm reading comments here, folks.
About the man comes to this lady and how he laughs at the pen.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just picks up a pen from her table and stares at it and starts laughing hysterically. and then he runs out of the room with it. And then there's another story of this. I don't remember when it happened. It's fairly recent. There's the guy who was doing something. I think he saw a UFO one night, a triangular UFO. And then the next day, some men in suits come to where he works at this hotel. And there's actual footage of the men, because they went back and looked at the footage, and there's actual footage of the men coming in. And they were just asking the receptionist there at the time about this guy who didn't come in the next day. And the men are described by the receptionist to the guy as they're pale white. They look exactly the same. They have the same faces. But the funny thing is they have no facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
No facial hair, and it looks like their hair is a wig.
They don't even have eyebrows.
No. And they have no eyelashes either, and their eyes are really blue.
God, that'd be weird.
But it looks like you're wearing one of those hats with the wig attached. You know, like.
Somebody said something interesting right here. That last comment, and says, "Adult black-eyed children." So basically, like, do black-eyed kids grow to be the men in black? Is what I wonder.
I don't think so.
You don't think that's how it works?
No, I think the men in black are not human. I would think. I'd say they're extraterrestrial. What do you think?
This person says, I wonder if the men in black are actually clones of some sort. Possibly. I mean, you got weird stories of them doing things like trying to drink a bowl of Jello, you know, and I mean, they just don't. I mean, Nick Redfern would be the guy to ask about this. He wrote the book Men in Black, and it was pretty interesting. It's just crazy. We had it rolling, man, and then everybody just kind of dropped out and abandoned us. You think I won't forget this? All the people that abandoned me, I don't even know who did and who didn't, so I'm just joking. I can't find you.
I
But
guess they can watch the recording.
Yeah, they can watch the replay. It says here, hey, Wolf, any flying gremlin encounters? Describe flying gremlins. What do you mean by that? Because there are encounters with species of flying all kinds of stuff. I mean, describe what you consider gremlins. I mean, you know, what are we talking about here? Good time on there. 10:55. So yeah, I mean, you got to tell me what you're talking about. Flying gremlins. What kind of gremlins? There's all kinds of flying things. Here's somebody. Oh, that's Scorpion. Scorpion's got it. He says, "Who's to say that the black-eyed kids aren't aliens who take human skin?" That's true. Another person said, "Antediluvian ultra-terrestrials from the inner Earth, Agartha, Shambhala, Shangri-La."
The Hopkinsville Goblins, you mean?
The Hopkinsville Goblins, flying gremlins. I don't believe they were flying gremlins. I think they were. I don't believe that they were flying. I could have to. Barton Nolly would probably know more about that than me.
When I think of gremlins, I think of
the movie.
No, the gremlins from
World War II.
World War II.
But I don't believe that they were flying though.
What do you think the John Keel action figure?
Yeah, John Keel. That'd be cool. We can't make anybody though unless they're alive, because you'd have to have their permission, and then you'd have to go to their state to do it.
Do we need Bigfoot's permission?
Bigfoot's? I don't know. I mean, he hasn't been proven to exist, so I think you're pretty much safe with that one. Because somebody had said something earlier when I was on the phone. I think it was Linda Godfrey when I was on the phone with her earlier, and she said that there was somebody that she said to do a figure of. Rosemary Ellen Guiley. Great author, amazing author. She wrote a book about Dogman too. It wasn't a really big book, but it was pretty cool. Rosemary Ellen Gallick, if somebody doesn't know, she wrote the Encyclopedia of Angels, the Encyclopedia of Demons. She would be a cool person to do a figure of. So would John Keel. You can't do people that aren't alive anymore.
You'd have to get his.
You'd have to ask their estate, people who were in charge of that, And anyways, what else do we have here? Any other interesting questions? Another person, says, I think black-eyed kids are either vampires or demonic.
I would lean towards demons, demonic.
Yeah.
They.
When David Weatherly was on my show, not on the live streams, but when we did our Friday set, we did 2 parts on the Alaskan cryptids because I thought that book was really cool. I mean, I like all of his books, but I really is fascinated by Alaska. I've only been there one time, but it was pretty cool. I love that book that he did. The Port Chatham thing is really fascinating. But when David Weatherly came on the show, we talked about a lot of these different theories, and one of the things that we talked about. Let me see here. Because of course everybody knows David Weatherly as the Black Eyed Kids guy. I had been given a story from a woman that was actually a dream she had, but she couldn't. I mean, when I did the interview with David Weatherly, at the time I told him the story, and I asked him what he thought about it. What was really messed up was that she had a story that she thought was a dream, but then later on I went back and I revisited it and I talked with her, and it was one of those things where people have a dream but it's not really a dream, and like with alien abduction, that's very common. But and I can't remember the way the story went, but she had a dream that one of these black-eyed kids, she had let them in and they had come into her house, if I remember correctly, and it turned into like this spider-looking creature. And she thought at the time that it was like a dream, but then later on there was like all this weird stuff, like she found like this weird ectoplasmic spidery webbing type goo in different parts of the house, and she thought maybe what had happened was she really did actually let one of these creatures in, and it made her believe that it was some sort of dream, and then it actually parasitized her, and for a long time she felt like there was something attached to her in a spiritual and a physical sense. If that makes any sense at all, I don't know, but somebody said you can't buy that. Yeah, the aliens.
That little alien I told you about with the blue hood and cloak, there are no pictures of it on eBay or online. So it's almost as if it never existed. And so,
that's crazy.
But I know I had it at the time.
It says here, I think the BEK are plague, one of the 4 horsemen. Andy, why do you think that? Yeah, Andy said he thought that they're plague. Why do you think that they were plague? Why do you think they're plague? It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on that. The Pink Dahlia, my personal nightmare. Was it you that gave me that story? I don't know. That's your handle, Pink Dahlia, but I was given that story by. I know their real name, but I don't know your name. So was it you that gave me that story?
For that comment, as far as I know, I don't know of any men in black living up to the threats.
That's true. Like, you never hear like that they actually do anything to try to scare people. I don't know. You might want to ask Nick Redfern though. He probably knows whether or not they've actually.
That's true. The black-eyed kids tend to get sick after you let them in, maybe.
Sheila Loya says something interesting. She says, I know what you're talking about. I'm going through it, except replace the BEKs with hooded figures. They are parasites physically and spiritually. When the show drops on the set I did with Jason Bland from Paranormal Soup, we talk extensively about parasitism of these entities, black shadow entities parasitizing people, and I mean, we get into alien abduction, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it gets crazy. And this Dick said, I think they are a plague too. They make everyone who encounters them sick.
I wanted to show something off.
Go ahead.
I forgot to show this with action figures. 2 of the figures that will be given away are going to have an exclusive bonus with them. So I created a figure of, I don't know if you can see it.
The Hat Man.
If I can get it in the light there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
And they do have red eyes.
Yeah.
And it should stand up. Can you get the camera?
Yeah, we could try to turn that angle. Ow. Oh, I can't turn it. There it goes. I can't do it. Right, I'll just hold it. Yeah, hold it like that. There it is. That's the Hat Man. Hey Anthony, I got a crazy thing. Yeah. The battery's running low on this thing. Okay, cool. Me and Anthony actually were at the gym the other day at Big Tex, working out at the Big Boy Gym, where powerlifters and weightlifters lift here in Austin. It's known for that. And we were working out one morning, and we met these 2 guys, which they're always in there, but I never talked to them. They were twins, and I was waiting for them to get on the decline. And they told us that they had been dealing with. They told us that they had been dealing with the Hat Man since they 4 years old. They said, and they said that it would come out of their closet. And it was classic, like red eyes, weird, crazy. And they're bodybuilders. And sorry about that, folks. She's trying to plug in the laptop. Okay. And so, anyways, they told us some crazy stories. So I was thinking, man, you're just at the gym and you start talking to people and they find out what you do, and how, then they start talking about their experiences with these creatures, entities, whatever. Met another person today when I was at Planet Fitness actually working out, and I met a woman and a guy who both had experiences with entities and had bunches. It's just crazy. Everywhere you go, you're meeting people who have experienced some sort of like phenomena with these, whether it's some sort of what they believe are aliens or ghosts, demons, some sort of cryptids. I mean, it's everywhere. So, I've heard other podcasters, and I can't stress this enough. Me and Nick Valente were talking about this and joking about it one night. Talking about they can't find stories. That they can't, that I need to get some stories, man. And I've had a couple of them come to me and ask me for help. I'm like, dude, are you just lazy or what? One of them I'm not friends with anymore at all. I don't care. And I told him that. He got really offended, and I'm just like, dude, you're just lazy. I mean, you can't find encounters. I mean, I found them at the gym with Anthony when we were just working out. And there's people, the guys like, yeah, we'll get in touch and we will give you our stories. We'll tell you the whole thing about what going, And then there was another guy that was there who heard me talking one day, and he had an experience at Fort Bragg where this thing tried to grab him, which I'm going to talk about in the Halloween episode. I mean, you get stories like all the time. I mean, like, it's crazy. Just talking at the maintenance guy at one of our properties where we do security at, and he was talking about going into people's homes, and he went into, and I'm not kidding, this guy told us he went into someone's bedroom and they were levitating. Okay? Like he knocked, I mean, nobody answered. And he goes, okay, there's a place that I used to work. I don't know if I should say the name of it, we don't work for them anymore, so I don't really care. But it was a real rundown complex. And he goes, so I went in there to do my job. It was in the middle of the day, and I thought this person was at work. I hear a growling, snoring mixed with a growl. He goes in the master bedroom, and this woman is like a foot off of the bed, just kind of floating back and forth. Can you imagine being a maintenance guy? Guy's name is Manuel. Still works there as far as I know. It's called something else now because the owners sold it because it was such a crap hole. And they owed us money for a long time. I was neither here nor there. Anyways, he told me that, and he was just like, dude, I go into that apartment, and that woman was floating off of the bed. So, I mean, I just asked him a very simple question. He's been a maintenance guy for 22 years. This was last year, so now 23. He's still there. I asked because I ran into him not too long ago at a place called Puerto Rico, which is really good, by the way. Love Puerto Rico. If you ever come to Austin, Puerto Rico's a bomb. So, anyways, I asked him. I saw him there, and I started talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I still work over there." Well, 22 years as a maintenance guy, right? He told me that he had seen all kinds of weird stuff. A lot of times you talk to somebody, they'll be like, nothing weird's ever happened to me. I've never seen it. And then within, 10 minutes into the conversation, they said, yeah, well, that was just one thing. Then there's another thing. Next thing you know, they have half a dozen things. It's just common. And I think we all have had experiences. It's just whether they're willing to talk about it or whether you're able to get them to talk about it and how comfortable they are with you talking about things. But this guy was very comfortable. He talked to me and like two other workers, and told us, that I think Zane might have been one of them. My nephew was with me. But we started talking about this incident that happened, and he said that those apartments, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in those apartments. Does he know or have any theories about what this is? That woman floating? Was she a witch? Was she a vampire? Was she an alien? He has no idea. He just walked out because what would you do? I mean, what would you do? And he told him, I'm not fixing that whatever. So another maintenance guy went and did it. But yeah, that's crazy. Had a guy online at the HEB. Now, Charlie knows what HEB is because he's from Texas. HEB is our local grocery store, and it's very, very large. They're really nice grocery stores. I've been to all but 14 other states. And I can tell you, there is no grocery store chain like HEB. HEB is pretty amazing. I love our grocery store. I'm glad that it's here in Texas. I walked in to the HEB to pick up some things with my wife. I standing there in line, started talking to the clerk, and yeah, what do you do? Oh, I'm paranormal show, whatever. They're being friendly, whatever. And I gave him a card. He himself did not have something that was show worthy, but he hooked me up with a coworker that did. There was something that happened to her when she was young, and it was terrifying. So I'm going to put that on the show eventually, but I'm not going to get into the story. But there was another person I met at the gym, at the Planet Fitness gym, who worked there. She was Arab, and she was from Iraq. Started talking to her, told her about the show, blah, blah, blah. She starts telling me about these troll-looking creatures that were crawling over the wall of her house. It just goes on and on and on. I mean, it just, how can you not get stories? How hard is it to get stories? And if you do a show and you put out stories about a subject and you do the show correctly, then you're going to get more stories from people who've had those experiences. It's just that simple. I don't understand these podcasters. It's like some hard formula for them to figure out how to grow your group and how to do a successful podcast or live stream, whatever. Do your homework. Stop being lazy. That's the main thing. If you're going to do this, you got to hustle. Okay? If you don't have any drive, you have no ambition and the will to feed it, you can't do anything. But especially in this field, you're going to have to hustle. You have to get stories. You have to go and talk to people. You're going to have to listen to people talk. You're going to have to make people feel comfortable with you. And I'm comfortable talking to people, just about anybody. So I don't understand these people who can't get stories. And like Nick said, he goes, I think they're just lazy. You know, Nick Valente said that. I agree. You know, these people just seem lazy. I mean, it's like how hard is it to do to get stories? I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, there's stories everywhere. People have stories all. Talked to a groundskeeper who worked at a college, at a football stadium. Saw all kinds of weird stuff. You know, I'm gonna talk to him. Anyways, I'm on my soapbox. I'm just saying, it just does. I don't understand these people who can't get stories. I just do not understand that at all. I don't know what you're doing. You know, maybe people don't like you. You know, they don't like you. My friend doesn't like you either. You better watch yourself. Right, Charlie.
About what?
Carry the show, Charlie. Your turn. Charlie's the host now, guys.
I mean, I can juggle. That'll.
Can you really? No. That's that. That'd be a cool skill to have. Be like, or can you do ventriloquism? Can you throw your voice?
No.
Throw your voice for your friends. Huh? Beetlejuice.
I have a fushigi. You know what that is? I practice with it sometimes.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what the hell that is. What is that?
It's one of those made for TV products. It's the magic anti-gravity ball.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
So what do you do with
It's
that?
it's like really heavy. It's this silver ball, and people like do like these cool things with their hands. They can like they make it look as if it's floating.
Oh, okay. It's talking about.
I bought one of those.
I can do
back in the
this
day.
with my hands. Well, that does anything
I
for
bought a
you.
couple of fushigis back in the day when they had them at HEB. They had it at HEB in the made for television product area.
I think this does something for the younger generation. I mean, I went to a couple raves when I was younger, and I saw people doing this, and then using glow sticks.
Look up what the fushigi is.
The
It's like,
fushigi?
yeah, it's like they do this thing with it where they make it look as if
But they make it look. But is it just like?
it's just they're just holding it, but the way that they move their hands, you have to move your hands around the ball like this, so it looks as if the ball is floating. And they can like they go like this and like I don't know.
How big is it? Like what does it look like?
It's like
okay.
Let's
This
see.
person said here, lazy and lack of passion.
Yes, it's like Jareth's ball. The one that he holds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it says here, labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they know what a fushigi is.
Yeah, lazy and lack of passion. That's exactly right. Why they get into this field, okay, and then they don't want to be consistent. They don't want to hustle and try to get information from people. They don't follow up, and then they cry because nobody's joining their groups and nobody's watching their show.
Well, should I
Lazy, lack of passion.
should I re-say my ideas for future figures? Because I don't think they could hear me earlier.
Go ahead, yeah, say it.
So I had ideas for future figures. So the one that I really want to make, if Josh wants to get them from me, I really want to make
Pee Wee Herman.
Well, I want to do a Civil War Confederate soldier ghost.
That'd be cool, like Jonah Hex.
Kind of the artwork I showed you on the box. He looks like picture the face of like a skull, but not with like a regular mouth. So it's like a person with sunken eyes and a sunken in nose. So what I would do is I would use the face of Ghost Rider, and I would just sculpt the lower part of the mouth to be like
that'd be cool.
but he'd have the skull nose with skull eyes,
Yeah.
and then I just have to make him like with the uniform that they wore back in the day. And of course I would do that one in glow in the dark paint. And then another one I had an idea for was the Goat Man. like your typical goat pen. But the problem is that it's hard to make.
There's people talking about it. The fushigi.
Oh yeah, where?
Right here, my ex-husband used to do the fushigi. Our son loved watching it. It sounds like something. I want to get one now. I'm gonna go look into this fushigi. Honey, if you're listening to me at home, buy me a fushigi. Get on there and get one.
If you buy it from in the box, it comes with a instructional DVD that shows you how to do the tricks.
How to do the tricks?
Yeah, I haven't really touched it in a long time.
How much are they?
I think at the time they were like $10.
That's it.
Maybe
wow,
12.
That's nothing, dude. You can get like 2 or 3 of them.
They had them at.
Throw them at people.
Yeah, I used to buy the As Seen on TV stuff like.
As Seen on TV.
So I actually only bought 2 things from on TV. The Heelys, you know the Heelys. Yeah, Heelys are.
Yeah.
They're the shoes with the one wheel in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have that when I was a kid, and then the fushigi.
That's cool.
It just looked fun. Anyways, so for figure ideas, I had another idea for the woman in white. So it's your typical.
Like the Lady of the Lake up in Dallas.
Yeah, like a typical ghost lady in a white, nice like dress.
That's crazy because okay, not to cut you off, but I want to add to what you're saying. Near the San Gabriel River, my mother and her sister, my aunt who died years ago, she was really, really cool. I got along with her really well. I was really bummed out when she died. She was one of my favorite people. But she would go out on a date, and my abuelita, my grandmother, would make my mom go with her to tag along. Mm-hmm. So my Aunt Rosa used to have to bribe her with like candy, and stuff to keep her to be quiet when she'd kiss a boy. She'd be like, kiss her boyfriend, and she'd be like, I'm going to tell mom. And she'd be like, no. And so she'd give her candy and stuff, But they saw a woman floating across the river coming toward them. And they booked it out of there near the old Hoxie Bridge before it was moved to where it is now, and where I did a show about the Hoxie Bridge. And what's crazy is there is an actual historical basis for that. There was a flood in the 1920s, and it washed away an entire town called Friendship. And there was a woman who was washed away, and literally, she was wearing her wedding gown. The story goes that she was wearing her wedding gown. She was trying it on for her wedding when the storm hit, and she got caught, in like a creek that flowed into the river, and she drowned. So it's really weird. It's a weird story. It's sad too. But people would see her like floating around. And of course, some people would say La Llorona, the Willios or the Caucasian people. They would say that it was the lady in white that died in her wedding dress. And so it was really weird story. But everybody in that area that had heard of this weird story, it's crazy, man.
What I had in mind was like the kind of ghost that you'd see at a hotel. Like let's say you're at the Stanley Hotel, or and like you're going down the hallways and you see like just a woman standing on the stairwell in a white dress. So, but the problem is, how do you make it look like a ghost? Maybe make her all pale and just like
glow in the dark. Maybe take the head off. They put it in her head.
Something like that.
The wedding dress or something.
I had another idea for the Haitian or New Orleans zombie, like the stories you hear of real zombies that like.
Well, yeah, and of course the Haitian zombie, it's because of a type of drug. Yeah, and then that's. But folks, we're gonna wrap it up. I appreciate Charlie coming on the show, and the hour's getting late, and I can't believe this storm that hit. I can't believe it, and it just I saw it brewing when I was on the phone with Linda Godfrey, literally saw it brewing when I got out of my truck, and I thought, man, it's starting to sprinkle, and I thought we were safe because we supposedly had the roof fixed, and they did not fix it. So I am highly agitated now. So anyways, we're going to say goodnight. I'm sorry that the show ended up us doing it right here in the receptionist area. Not very professional, but when your studio gets flooded with water, there's not much you can do. Tanya Willis is transparent plastic.
There's no way I could do that.
Yeah, it would be so weird.
I mean,
You could just do a ghost figure, just empty air, just with the
that's
the
what-
blister
that's
pack
what I was
with
thinking, just leave the part empty.
yeah, just the empty air like
I was at this toy show the other week. I was at a toy show the other week in Houston, and somebody made a custom action figure from The Simpsons of Nelson's dad. It was just empty.
oh my gosh, that's horrible.
But I just do a ghost thing.
Pretty funny actually, but yeah. All right, guys. So I'll see ya. That's all we have for tonight, man. We didn't even get to hit 300 members in the chat, which is typically, we're well over 300. But because of the having to take a break to try to move everything over here because the water was leaking in 3 or 4 different spots and it was going to ruin our equipment. Thank God it didn't ruin the laptop because we got a bunch of stuff on here. And anyways, man, I appreciate it. You guys tuning in. You got to see the action figures. Hopefully this show didn't bomb because of what happened. I'm hoping that everybody will be patient with us. Friday's show with Barton's going to drop, and then next Tuesday on the live stream, unless it's raining again and we haven't gotten the roof fixed, which I hope we have, me and Barton are going to talk about something cool. So y'all be prepared for that. I appreciate everything. Thank you for all your donations. Thank you for all your time. Taylor, thank you for the donation. Thank you for everything. And we are going to drop this show, okay, in the Paranormal Round Table group, and I'm giving away 10 free hats. All we ask is that you wear them everywhere. Everywhere. I'll know if you didn't.
There's a sensor in it that
I'm just kidding.
the scalp.
Yeah, as soon as you take it off, an alarm goes off or something. All right, guys, that's it. That's all the time we have for tonight. I'm gonna check y'all later, man. See ya. Oh man, what a mess! What a mess! What a mess! Charlie's so sorry the way things went, man.
I'll also post the figures online with that visual guide I sent you.
Yeah.
And as soon as I add the rig and 100 gold into it. Did you like this one? The 100?
Oh yeah.